Howdy, folks. Welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, and I am acutely aware of the fact that something is stuck between my teeth. Joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, and Olive. Excuse me just one second. We're going to play Starfinder tonight, but before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, one second. There's two different ways that you can support the channel. Let me pull up some more appropriate stream starting music here than the little flutes that we've got in the background.
So peaceful.
It is very peaceful.
When are our animations going to be set to sail?
Yeah,
I totally forgot.
Can you show
even start that? Yeah, during the break, I'll show you guys.
What?
So speaking of which, there's two different ways that you can support the stream through bits and channel points. Bits are Twitch's microcurrency that you can pay real money for. They will immediately impact the session. They also do a lot to support the stream. Channel points are something. Yeah, channel points are something that you accumulate for free just by watching. Excuse me. You can use those to steer some of the more long-term aspects of the campaign. You can also use them to do a couple of other things to kind of interact with the chat. And then we have a number of different social media things. @AlberonRPG for Instagram, for Threads, for TikTok. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be playing D&D Courts of Everest, our original D&D 5e campaign. And then we just had some new work done from Sophie Bischoff, who is Dibadoop on Instagram, spelled not how it sounds.
DIBBADOEP.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was Dib Bad OAP for a very long time,
Yeah,
so if that helps you spell it, there you go.
It's the country of origin.
Yes. So the Czech Republic, I think. So Sophie Bischoff, amazing artist, did a great group piece for everybody from the Courts of Everest party, and that came out awesome. You can see that on Instagram. As the group alluded to, we have some custom animations that are being done. They're actually done for the Starfinder party, and we have to communicate, and I totally forgot I'm supposed to be doing references to the artist. But for D&D as well, those are going to happen. And then we're going to have some custom animated intros, so that's going to be very cool. And then finally, for the Wild West music that you can hear behind you, as well as all different kinds of sound effects, we're using something called Sirenscape. If you want something like AOL dial-up sounds, if you want something like everybody wants AOL dial-up sounds, it is really a throwback. I had like a flashback when I
I
heard
have
that.
feelings attached to that sound.
If you want to have robots to communicate with your players, all kinds of things are available on Sirenscape, digital tool set that you could use to talk about Matt's mom.
Whoa.
I mean, he said it, not me. And with that, I can bring us into our recap.
Parking lot, 3 o'clock.
All right.
6:30. So
That's
tomorrow?
very far into the session.
Okay.
Nigh the witching hour.
You need to be 10 minutes in the past. You didn't show up. All right. Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, Gibbs and the director tried to persuade Echo to remain with the team after a perceived betrayal from Spice caused them to consider leaving Mosaic. After Echo seemed to reluctantly accept staying, at least for the time being, 3 figures were detected approaching the hangar, and they were not Spice, Shade, and Bubs, who were rapidly approaching themselves. They were 3 drow, all in power armor and carrying various warmonger industry drones in suitcase form, investigating the ship. Gibbs attempted to engage in diplomacy, but engaged in a firefight instead. Echo told the director to boot up for takeoff, but Bubbles and Spice arrived at roughly this time to attack from the other side. Echo, you engaged in a firefight as the 2 drow in power armor initially boarded through the airlock. You were able to speed away as Gibbs used their not considerable form to try and block the hallway. However, the drow left when Spice was spotted by the 3rd compatriot near the entrance of the hangar, making it clear that they were after her. Spice, you kited the enemy side to side around stacked storage bins before adhering yourself to the ground like a toddler throwing a tantrum to be harder to be taken. Bubbles, you pressed with your Dothko forward, keeping the drow and their warmonger drones at bay, causing one to flee from the hangar. Ultimately, the surviving drow fled by diving off the edge of the hangar into a ship being piloted by the drow that you had scared off. Security arrived, finally, having been called by all of you, with the PLEA responding to your call for help.
What's that response time?
Probably like 2 minutes.
Oh,
A
that's
little
actually
less,
fair.
actually.
That's
Yeah,
not bad.
it was. You called right at the start, and there was 6 rounds of combat. So like 45 seconds.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
What transpired next was truly the worst case of why would you say that has occurred over the course of this campaign. Bubs initially told the PLE agents that there was nothing on the ship to be taken. These PLE agents made it very clear that they were there to help all of you, as you had called them to help you.
Yeah.
Bubs, you said there was nothing aside from your really cool weapons
They
and
are
other
cool
things
now.
aboard the ship. So
Bubs,
you
like,
didn't.
always is like, oh, check out my Dotco.
So you didn't need to search it. When they mentioned that they weren't really looking for weapons, but in fact screening for stolen merchandise, as there had been many robberies, such as the Tony Express, Bubs, you replied by enthusiastically stating, "Oh, we were on that train!"
We were the heroes of that train.
The individual questioning you then excused themselves to call for a more thorough inspection team who arrived promptly. Luckily, Echo, you employed the school of political magic known as bureaucracy, using dated but entirely legal paperwork to force each of the now 18-person strong inspection crew and their dog to review, sign, and initial correctly 22 pages of documentation.
We're just natural 20 of them rolled.
Right as you could stall no longer, Echo, footsteps down the hall. And as Steele arrived from your call, Bubs, that is where we begin this evening. Give me 1 second.
Alright, now I've got to be like.
And so, Shade, for you, as Bubbles and Spice went in, right before a communication came in from Gibbs that said simply, not friendly, not friendly, not friendly, firmware update. You just go down for a second just to get this quick update. And as you come back up, literally no more than a minute later, there are 3 PLEA squad cars there in front of you, sirens on. You can see an unmarked detective car pull up, and this really haggard-looking, thin individual in a tan trench coat who looks very upset making their way in. That is kind of what you're seeing right now. Hangar Bay 11, a prime station, has smoke from plasma casings that litter the ground. There is motor oil from the downed Warmonger industry robots. There are bodies on the ground, power armored, either dead or dying. And then there are 18 members of the PLEA, many with white body armor, but a few wearing coveralls that feature the word technician across the back instead. In front of you, Echo, the PLA sergeant who identified themselves as Soren stands and says, "Okay, I'll just initial this for the 15th time. And we're all set. With this paperwork in place, we may as well do a thorough inspection." And he turns around. "Folks, we've been alerted that there's an animal and at least a few really cool weapons, so please be careful as you go about a thorough inspection of this craft. We've also learned that this group has been on the Tony Express. So wow." And then at this point, you can see Steele walks in. At this point, you can see Steele has kind of overheard elements of this, probably walking down the hallway. And so he comes in and just kind of says, "God damn it." And he walks over and kind of strides forward. Are you guys doing anything at this point? And Shade, are you entering?
Entering the ship?
So right now you're in a car out in the curb. There is a brief corridor about 45 feet long between you
I thought
and
I
the
was
ship.
standing there. No, I'm getting fucking
so
out.
you you were in the
Yeah.
car, you went down for literally 1 minute of a firmware update, and when you came back, 3 squad cars, lights, this detective running in.
Yeah, I'm running. I mean, I'm not running. I'm getting
You
out
literally
and
looked away
walking
for
over.
1 minute, and this is what
Gibbs
happened.
shat all over the.
That's in the ship, so yeah,
in
you
the
haven't
ship.
seen that yet.
Okay.
But you run in, you can
Lest
see this
we
happen.
forget.
You see the back of Steele as he says, "Oh, God damn it," and walks over towards the group. Is anybody else doing anything?
Echo's making a big show of checking through the paperwork.
Okay, absolutely. You shuffle through the data slide, making big, mechanical, and the whole thing slides over. No problem.
Bubs is doing that thing where you're you're watching the door and you're waiting for the person's face that you expect. And then who arrives first, Steele or Shade?
Steele.
Bubs was imagining Shade to come in, and then he imagines right as his face pictures, it just slowly just turns to grayscale, and then it's Shade or Steele.
Okay. Sure, that can happen. That happens, the door open, and like as that happens, the grayscale goes with the door, and it's just like Shade standing there. Shade walks in.
Steal.
No, because
I follow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can make that happen. No worries. And then you follow behind, and you see Steel enter. The actual person that you're waiting for, Bubbles. At that point, you can hear under their breath they say, "Oh God damn it!" They start walking over. Anybody doing anything else before Steel reaches?
Spice is still pretending to be extremely hurt, but she's going to. Can I confirm with the director that the director has hidden both of the echo bodies and the hand deep into there?
So you previously ascertained that you've done as much as you can to kind of disguise this in the time that you have.
Okay.
The director doesn't have like robot arms that it can manipulate things with down there. So the only thing that the director could do to change physical contents would be to like flip itself around, which would be a little bit noticeable. So the director, at the moment, the director has done what?
Flip and burn
They have
once they reach your insides.
They're fully powered up. I mean, they could in theory do that.
No grab.
But you lay heavily bandaged, moaning with that one security guard who is just like kind of pale, especially after Gibbs pooped on the deck right in front of him, standing about halfway down the ramp.
So wait, is everyone on the ship now?
No, everybody's right there in front.
so this
if you
is-
look at that little like helmet-looking thing right next to in front of me, that is the door basically. So you are entering behind this huge group of white armored agents who are all doing paperwork with Echo at the moment.
Steel.
Steel is not on the board. These are all. This is in case you guys really do bad and we need to have combat.
No.
Gibbs and Spice are in the ship.
Come
Echo
back,
is down talking to the sergeant. Bubs is right next to them.
Okay.
And you're walking through the door to the main hangar. There are no other ships. It's just ours and this like mass of PLEA.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
And some bodies.
Cool.
One
Awesome.
body and then like some robot bodies. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So I guess the closest people are Spice and Bubs to me.
No, Spice
No,
is
I'm
on
on
the
the
ship.
ship.
Oh, okay.
It's Echo and Bubs.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought it was Gibbs and.
So I'm in like the med bay area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I would walk towards. Well, I would probably follow because I would recognize Steel, right? I've seen him on Bub's comms.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I would
I've
imagine
spoken with
Bubs has
him.
probably showed
Yeah.
that
Well,
off
Well,
a number of
I've
times.
He has.
spoken
He
with
has
Steel
spoken with
myself.
He has.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
So I would probably follow Steel, which is presumably walking towards Bubs.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Steel walks forwards and he just goes, "All right, these folks, Bubbles." And he like walks in. You can see Soren turns around and he kind of squints and just goes, "Aren't you a detective in T2?" And Steel just goes, "Yeah, but look, just these guys are bounty hunters. They probably have privileged goods for the USR, right?"
Correct.
And so, and Shade, can you make a deception check? Go ahead and take a +6 conditional modifier for Steel being the one that's advocating for this.
So was that
Bluff.
bluff? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Deceive with your sense motive.
14.
14. Okay.
With a 6? Oh.
That's rough.
I do have my diplomatic sash out.
That's true.
I think I would probably have it because like.
Yeah.
You do. Yes. This has been addressed
We all
before.
have the sashes.
You all have the sashes. One of the 36
Help or harm.
18 embassies that are available currently.
Yeah.
Okay. So Steele just kind of says, yes, but so I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I'm just going to escort them over to the USR embassy and we can get this all sorted out. But we don't want any unseen things kind of happening. And like he kind of weighs in a little bit. At this point, this officer doesn't seem especially convinced. He's still kind of eyeing all this and he just goes, "With respect, we really do need to do an inspection. They were at the scene of a crime. And at the very least, we need to question everybody individually." Are you guys saying anything? You can see Steele just like sighs and he looks at you, Bubbles, and he looks very disappointed.
We have already been debriefed by the USR.
you can see. Make a persuasion check, which is a diplomacy check. Not a bluff
Oh
check.
my god, why are that out here? These are my
You
two highest stats.
Are pretending to be sick.
Yeah.
13.
Okay.
Androids.
Androids.
Be that as it may, the USR operates as a diplomatic party on Prime Station. We are the authority ultimately, so we need to investigate. All of this paperwork seems to be in order. We've signed everything that you've asked, and at this point, you can see Steele is just kind of like step over next to you, Bubbles, and he's gonna lean in and he's just gonna say, "You gotta give me something. Like I don't know what I'm walking into here."
We got this, official document from Lieutenant Clark, Wesley Dorian, and also Lieutenant Clark. Would this mean anything?
Steele kind of straightens up and turns to the rest of the party, and he just says, "Why don't we call up Lieutenant Commander Wesley Dorian and see if we can sort this out before we do any kind of boarding?" You said that you have some kind of special arrangement for them to deliver?
Yeah. And they gave us, like a very important investigation as well.
Bubbles, make a flat diplomacy check. You get no bonuses because you've already had 2 teammates fail.
Oh, 18! Woo!
For a total of
18! Oh, wait, do I also add anything? You said it was flat.
Your
Diplomacy.
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 Oh,
You're
that's
not-
plus things!
You would get a bonus from Steele, however, you're
Plus
2.
6.
Okay.
24.
There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
alright, that's not bad.
I don't know how
That's actually good,
bad
I'd
of
say.
a diplomacy. All right.
All right, everybody stand down. And you can see everybody moans and sighs. You can see a couple people take out their communicators, and you can hear like games start. Everybody's like standing by to investigate, but at the moment it seems like they're going to wait for the USR to show up. Now, that being said, the USR has not explicitly really communicated with any of you, any of this kind of stuff. So is there anything that you're going to do to try to reach out to them or in other ways kind of communicate?
I did ask for Wesley Dorian to give us the file for the Hollow Husk.
Yep.
And they also sent us the information about the 899s, or what we assume 899s, the Echo unit that was Rogue's theft of the ships, the prison ship, and also maybe the upcoming US Tango ship.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any like a contact information or like confidentiality, please contact this person, or some kind of because he did send us the information.
You had already made a check about that to see if you knew any kind of like bureaucratic kind of things. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is there contact information essentially? Yeah. You were given his contact information, and you have the contact information for the USR embassy as well, the general desk.
Yeah.
We just contact them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna comm to the contact info that we got.
Yeah.
No problem. You make that call. It rings just twice, and then you get an answer. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Commander Wesley Dorian's face appears. You can see this individual with the mustache.
What time is it?
The 7 p.m. 7:13 p.m.
Cool. Gotta make sure my greeting is correct.
Good morning. Nope.
Roll for initiative.
-6 diplomacy.
Yeah.
It's evening.
Okay.
Sir.
So yeah, you can see this individual with the mustache, the crisp USR uniform with the white diplomatic sash across it. And they're going to say, just who I was looking to talk to. We've just finished our investigation of the Tony Express and found some irregularities. Where are you at the moment?
We are currently outside of our ship at Hangar 11. There was combat. Some disgruntled mercenaries attempting to get revenge for a bounty or something.
You didn't happen to see what kind of ship they were using, did you?
Did I? No,
You
I didn't.
definitely didn't.
I
I
imagine
looked to Bubs.
we saw them because I remember I threw my dog when he was like leaving. They jump into the
Make a
ship.
piloting check to recall some details about
Yeah.
that ship,
I've never
Bubbles.
done this.
If he describes it, can I try to identify it?
Make
with my
a
knowledge?
make a
Is
piloting
that
check.
was a D? Someone give me a D. D4 to balance it.
D4.
Yeah. on that.
That dude,
D4 to balance is an interesting way
That
of
balances.
doing it.
That's a 2.
Yeah, but you gotta get this stuff out of there
Okay,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just propped
You have
up.
so many. Dan's,
Trash in
Dan's,
there.
yeah.
It's my emotional support spider.
Dan,
Literally,
can you,
like,
if I put the
I gotta
close-up
clean
cam
up
on,
my space.
can you
You
just
just
put it
put
under the
I
big
wanna see
camera
your
so
white
that people can
shoes
see
and
what's under
feathers.
there?
Show
Hold it, no, hold it, yeah, hold it so that people
this
can actually.
embarrassment of a
Look
roll
Look at
tray.
that! Look at these
All
riches.
right, we don't need to shame
There's some
them.
leaves.
Everyone has their own feng shui, but
There's original
I
Sophie
disagree.
Bischoff art for Oakville that's just like paper clipped to the thing.
no, it's taped on
Oh,
there.
it's
real
taped
good.
on. Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
think
See,
And
embarrassment of
he
a roll
used-
tray
he
is like
used
a parliament of
the
owls.
sticker that
This
I
is
got from
nice.
Chicago for him.
Ah.
Parliament of owls.
Anyways, no, it is. It's a very
One of
nice tray that
these.
you've loaded up with debris. But
It's
no
your
worries.
nest.
Anyways, what was your roll?
I was a 2.
Oh my god.
So
Okay,
Bubbles, you think about it,
Mine's
and
a
like
35.
this is like the sort of thing where it's like a quick
many?
cutaway to
Oh, plus
your
4 piloting, so 6.
so 6. The music goes like quiet. It's just like a white scene that you're visualizing, and all that you can see off like the reflection of a very vague cockpit is like spice. And then that's kind of it. And then like no other details were trapped in your mind
It was
whatsoever.
black
Um,
and raven haired, and her eyes.
It definitely had a cockpit though.
Well, I'm not like, super into ships. I'm more into like, like cool swords and things.
Oh,
But it looked like, it had like a cockpit and like, it like, it was a ship.
given that description, I've narrowed it down to 1 million types of ships.
Oh. It was really cool too.
You can see he smirks for just a second, but then right back to that like military exterior. And he says, whoever it was who ended up being at the Tony Express after all of you left, I don't think it was pirates. They didn't steal anything. There were valuables to be taken. But they took all the data out of the computers, and they made a trip to Prime Station after, or at least somewhere in the vicinity.
Are you implying that the people who attacked us just now are involved with the same people who attacked the Tony Express?
It would make sense, and we'd like to see that data just to make sure that there was no irregularities. There is a bunch of things missing, and if they didn't take anything, that does beg the question, who did? And we're missing a very important prototype starfighter that Jacinto helped develop, along with other less important items.
Well, didn't I explain to them what happened already?
You did.
About the starship.
They're implying that there's some irregularities about that story.
What? Have we lied to them yet?
Not really.
It's still alive. It's an omission.
Yeah,
Is it? Is
It's
it in
just-
this situation?
Only in 49 states.
yeah. I mean,
Is the USR one of them?
I don't remember what happened because I got punched to death. So, so I told the truth to the best of my ability. Well, I don't know how to respond.
Why
to
don't
this.
you make your way to us, and we'll talk about this.
We will finish up here and make our way back to the embassy.
Very well. Communication goes dead. You turn and see the 18 PLEA officers standing between you and the door.
We need to assemble the crew and return to the embassy. Get everyone on the ship.
Okay. Steele, they want us at the embassy right away. Like, very important, like, embassy business.
Steele, would you mind joining us on the ship?
He's gonna turn, and like you can see, people are beginning to move like the drones and stuff towards your ship. Like it's going to be boarded right now.
I thought it wasn't getting checked.
I mean, if you guys aren't gonna have anybody come and like verify this or have like,
Bubs is gonna turn to Shade. Can you maybe ask Dory? Can you call him back?
it rings just once, and then it picks up and just says, "Yeah."
Is it possible that you could get your officers to hold off on their search of our ship? It will upset our dog.
My officers are not conducting any search of any ship.
It's the local police force.
Oh.
This is like the
I'm a
central
week
government.
behind.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
don't fucking
So
know
just as a
what's
quick
going on.
review, right
Echo
now
makes like a car, like call for car.
you guys are calling like another country's police.
Oh, we're being like, could you
intervene
diplomatic
with-
immunity us for?
But you're
for this,
asking
please?
like your local constable to come and intervene on behalf of like the feds.
Oh,
what
why
he
the
asked
fuck are
you
you
to
asking
do-
me to
of a-
do that?
of a foreign country.
If I knew that was, I wouldn't have even called him. Now I just look like an idiot.
Station is more USR than other things.
No,
Own
No, I
entity.
thought-
the USR. So if you read
That's
the
a
history of the way that
Bub-centric worldview.
Yeah, I know it really is. If you read how humanity came to join the galaxy, they came relatively late. They were introduced by the Lashunta
Yeah, if you
right
read the
after,
fucking history
right
books.
around 2170, I believe, is the great space exploration time. That's when things like Way Station El Paso were developed to refuel the initial ships that had not drift drive, but like actual fuel. And why they were so like kind of decrepit when you guys were there. 'cause
My
they're not
understanding
maintained.
was we're dealing with the local New York police, and this is the United Nations, and this is the American.
Echo
embassy.
called
From-
the NSA.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a much bigger they will not be able to bail you out, especially not because they're not really. You told the PLEA a different story than what is actually happening, and then you turned around and told the USR that like, hey, yeah, they should just come pick you up, and so
Wait, so wouldn't Steele be the one who needs to bail us out of this situation? 'Cause
Steele
he
would be
is-
probably the person who could, but especially because you guys didn't really have any way of like giving him grounds to do so. I mean, there's not a whole lot.
All right.
I did
Could've-
tell him
We're
about
going to
the-
jail.
I did tell him about the. Can I show Steele?
We made some progress on the.
We have an active investigation in the Hollow Husk right now.
So at that, Steele says, "Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we do have that. Do you have evidence?"
We did encounter some divers earlier in the husk.
And the picture Echo sent.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd probably show the footage of the hulking thing.
And can I show the assignment of the bounty to Steele that was given to us?
Absolutely can.
Okay.
So you show Steele the bounty, but more importantly, you take the picture that Echo sent.
I'm
And
gonna
you
send
hand
him
that
the
over.
live footage that Echo had sent me.
It's an important
Like, I'm
ongoing
just gonna play it.
investigation. It's very, very important. Very
So
cool.
Steele takes this picture, and instantly you can see, because you know him well, his eyes kind of widen. For everybody else, it just kind of looks like a twitch in the eyebrows, but he's surprised by this picture, and he turns and like gestures over to this other more senior PLE person that you guys have been interacting with, and shows it. And he like takes it and says, "You're investigating the Huskheads?
Correct.
Yes.
All right, make a diplomacy check, and I would say you can add a +8 conditional modifier.
Do
This
we
is
both
for the
make
photo,
it?
the video. This is for we'll say for Bubs because he's talking.
Plus, you're better at it.
8
Ooh.
Plus 6.
+6 is
Plus 8.
14 plus 8.
22.
Come on.
22. Okay.
And Squeak barks.
That makes it better. We don't have his papers.
Plus 0.5. Yeah, we
We've
do.
been
He's-
having a lot of trouble with
he's
the
legit.
Huskheads lately. If you guys are doing something to deal with this, especially since the ones that you're talking about right here, there's some kind of a larger organization happening right now, we can get on board with that. We just need to interview one of your crew members, and we'll be on our way. We can hold off on the investigation.
Echo steps forward.
I think probably you.
With all due respect, as captain, I believe I should.
It could be both of you individually, or it could just be him.
No, it's okay. I can do it.
Echo looks over at Bubs and uses the direct connect. And she's like, remember, sometimes less is more.
He puts a hand on your shoulder, Bubs, and then also Steele on like your other side is just like,
Dad?
I'm gonna come and just make sure that everything is handled above board. It's better to have two people for liability reasons. And the other individual says, "Thank you, detective. Appreciate that."
Very well.
The two of you begin to escort Bubbles away. People begin to pack up all this equipment, 18 people's worth of equipment. The dog gets fed. They begin to like pull stuff out. Bubbles,
Bring Squeak out.
you're going out, and you're just gonna have a nice seat in the squad car with this guy.
It's in the back. They like close the door. You hear it latch.
You can see the lights off in the distance.
No, don't follow it.
As soon as they're out of like line of sight, I am beelining it to the ship to find everyone else.
Okay, no worries. We'll get back there. Hang on, we're gonna start with
Bubs
Bubbles.
doesn't
here.
get fucked. Don't say anything.
Or I don't know.
Before you left,
Maybe
I
this is a
imagine
situation
that
where you tell
Bubs
him.
and Shade are just staring. Like Bubs is like, "Boop," and I'm just like staring at you the whole time.
So does Steel come onto our ship or does he not?
No, Steel's going with
Steel's
Bubbles.
with
So
Bubbles.
as you get to the car,
I never
Bubbles,
even get to meet the dad
Not yet.
Bubbles, Steel kind of mentions to both of you at this point, like, all right, we can use my car. You guys can sit in the back, and I'll just, run everything and just keep an eye. The guy nods, and you walk over to Steel's car. You remember Steel's car. It's an old PLA, not PLA. Oh, gosh.
PLEA.
It is a Prime Motors A series, which unlike its kind of contemporary United Solari Republic A series in the BMW class, this is not a nice car.
To sound as we're walking over and we see the car, Bubs is like gonna try to like make me seem like endearing or like naive, like a kid or something like that. Bubs is just gonna be like, "Oh, Steel, I have a date earlier. Could I also borrow the car?"
But this isn't the time.
Oh, sorry.
And you can see the car unlocks. The guy opens it and gestures for you to get in. Steel goes around to the driver's seat and just goes, "Oh my God." He opens the side and just shuts the door. He sits in the driver's seat. There's like a partition between the driving and the passenger seat, so you can sit back there with this officer and talk. Make a perception check, Bubbles.
You look out and you see Shade just staring at you from 300 yards away.
You sense disappointment for free.
Oh, it's a 19.
You're rolling
Plus-
high even though you
yeah.
have low mods.
No, I have good odds.
You have a plus
Plus
6.
10. 29.
Plus 6 to
There you
diplomacy
go.
is not
Because
bad.
Bubs is learning.
Bubs, as the door shuts, you notice that Steel times perfectly with the sound of the door latching, the little partition inching down ever so slightly so that he can hear what's happening. The other individual, Soren, doesn't seem to notice this. But he sits down with you and he says, "All right, 1 second." He takes out his communicator, starts this recording option on it, and just says, "For the record, it was a little confusing before. Could you state your name?"
Oh, yeah, it's right here on my ID. Adam Price.
Okay. Adam Price. And you are employed by Mosaic Limited Liability Corporation, correct?
That is correct.
Excellent. And who is your commanding officer?
Well, I believe we have to basically go through this person named Peep.
Peep.
Yeah, is commanding officer. That's not captain. That's
You can interpret it however you want to interpret it.
Commanding officer. I'm your commanding officer.
I personally, Joe would interpret it as Shade, but Bubbles interprets it as Peep. No worries.
I believe last episode we didn't even say we had a captain. Who the captain was?
We did say we had a
You did.
captain.
You said you had a captain.
I
I don't
introduced
think
myself as the captain.
Okay. In that case, Bubs is gonna say she.
Okay.
Um,
So he nods and just kind of says, "So it's safe to assume any decisions made by the team were issued by this Shade." That was the android?
yes. But I don't. I mean, sometimes people, we just.
Take responsibility for your team.
Adam,
Yes.
we discovered that at some point the drift drive car was disconnected from the train, and this occurred sometime before the actual robbery. Could you shed any insight as to how that might have occurred or why that might have occurred?
The drift car. I don't know, but that hunk of junk, Tony Express. It was a miracle we even got off it. That place. I think there was the reason. Because maybe if you check your files, there was like all these snakes that came out. I think the lock broke because there was all these like broken parts on the ship and like something like broke. And honestly, that whole thing is like a death trap on flight wheels.
Make a diplomacy check, not a bluff check, because that is all technically true.
All of that is true.
And go ahead and take a +4 conditional modifier.
That's a 7 plus 4.
No,
plus
why do you
6,
say it out
so
loud?
17.
17.
17.
How did you? I like the way that you said that the first time. You said 17.
Yeah.
You got a mansion in Wisconsin. So that's my favorite rhyme of all time, by the way. In the history of rap, is a mansion in Wisconsin. Oh man. Anyways, with a 17, he kind of nods at this. And he just says, no, it makes sense. There's been a number of reports about the Tony Express over the years. It seems like it's just kind of shoestringing along, but it seems unlikely that an entire car would disconnect spontaneously, especially not just before a robbery, cutting off one of the escape routes. That seems a little bit suspicious. Furthermore, it seems as if the flight log was completely removed. When did you board the Tony Express? Let's stop.
We boarded at the Alcaraz Crossroads.
Interesting. We saw a broadcast that put you at the Alcaraz Crossroads maybe 2 days after the events of that happening.
Oh, because the reporter guy?
That timeline doesn't really add up.
Oh,
Fucking Gibbs.
It was a really good idea on Gibbs's part, maybe getting into this part of the situation.
Yeah, if we had foresight, it would have been great.
Well, I mean, it's just, when you lie, there's the potential for it to come back.
The investigation happened.
That's why Shade never lies about anything ever.
Shut up.
we basically, one of our crewmates had like an interview, and it was like a time delayed interview, but I can show you. Can I produce the tickets from the Alcaraz Crossroads?
Yeah, no worries.
And I have like receipts. I think I'll actually even I'll show them receipts. Did I get a receipt from the candy machine?
Yeah, you did.
I show them
Oh
the
my
candy
God, that was
machine.
your
No problem. It's a digital
receipt.
receipt. So you take a bunch of receipts out and you show him the
Yeah.
ticket, and he nods and he says, well, this all lines up.
Yeah.
So you were there when the
standard
drift car was disconnected.
I mean, I didn't even know it was disconnected until you just told me.
Who else is a part of your group?
Oh, well, there's Shade, there's Echo, there's Gibbs, there's Spice. Oh, and we have a dog named Squeak. Do you want to see pictures?
No, thank you. So you have this team. Can you account for their whereabouts? Can you confirm that they were not involved in any kind of theft?
Oh, yeah, of course. We were all on the ship together.
So you were all together at all times.
Yeah.
You realize that this means
In case when someone went to the bathroom, but I'm not gonna go into the bathroom with someone. Have you seen the bathrooms on Tony Express? It's disgusting. And as Bub says
He's
that,
not wrong.
Bub's just gonna take out like a handy wipe and like try to like sell the story of like cleaning himself with a handy wipe.
he
just
nods a
Bubs.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no roll required
Still
for that.
all tracks, yep.
He nods a little bit and he kind of says, it's just something isn't adding up here. There were things taken, some things valuable, but some things recycling. Android parts. Did you see any of these things?
No.
What did you see while you were aboard the train?
Well, we were basically just in the car, and then, there was like an EMP, like something like happened, and then the lights went out. It was.
So you didn't talk to anybody else?
You mean before the attack, or?
Yes, before the attack. From between the time that you boarded in Alcaraz Crossroads.
Well, Bub is gonna go over like all the people he knows. Well, there was
Did the crossword with that lady?
there was a crossroad, a nice little lady that I talked to, and we did crosswords together. And there was this group of loyocos, and they were like on like bachelor party like mode, and they were like saying bro all the time. It was kind of annoying, but they were really cool. And there was like this drunk goblin,
And you can see at this
priest.
point, as you're doing this, he's like flicking along his communicator, like he's looking at something while you're talking. And as you go through that, he says, So it seems like you went across the entire train.
No,
Why?
I just saw some of these people on the dining cart.
Make a bluff check.
Yeah. Well, that is true.
I mean,
I saw some of the people on the dining cart.
yes, but I think this is
Can I
a
get a
bluff
plus
check.
modifier for telling the truth?
You can
the
take a
truth and
plus
lying?
2 modifier
Okay.
for sort of vaguely putting the truth in
17
there.
plus 2, 19 plus
For the
Plus
white
6.
lie that
16.
Bubs is
So that's
telling.
25.
Tony Jr. did mention you. Yes. He mentioned, well, I assume it was you. You're pretty distinct looking.
Oh, yeah.
But you said that you had helped out a great deal. You put on a concert?
Oh, well, I, have a hobby of, I dabble in music and art too. I'm going to show, some pictures of, some things I've made. And, everyone was so scared because, the attack and just everything was happening. And we wanted everyone to be okay. And we were really helpful, when the snake attack happened. So we figured, if we could just calm everyone down.
Adam,
Yeah.
you were at the scene of a crime, of a snake attack. You were at the scene of a crime, of a robbery. You were engaging in distractions during both, and you've had the opportunity to see the entire train by talking to every person involved. We were able to determine, by interviewing suspects, that EMP devices were placed on 2 different people. So it would require the coordination of a crew. This doesn't look great for you. If there's anything that you need to tell us, we've been looking into the files of your teammates. There isn't a great history there when it comes to things like theft, when it comes to things like debt. I mean, there's a lot of motive. Help me help you.
I mean, I'm racking my brain. I'm trying to help you. We're bounty hunters, so, trouble always follows us. But, I can't think of anything. Let me think. There was that great, distraction at the, to keep everyone calm with the,
You feel your comm buzz, silent. They don't seem to notice it, but you have a message.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
I can't check it without this person knowing I'm checking my comm.
Probably. I mean, you can, if you want to try to do if you can think of a way to do it, you can definitely try. That would be a deception check with that's a bluff check with a real high DC.
Is that a house cat over there?
Oh, sorry. Do you have a glass of water?
Bubs is gonna basically take the wipe that he's wiping his hand with, and he's just going to go like this and just kind of try to look at the back of his wrist as he's doing it and trying to hide it with the cloth over his hand.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead. Give me 1 second here.
Sleight of hand.
I think it is sleight of hand.
Yeah, sleight of hand probably for Bubs.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
That's the
Sleight
same
of
across
hand.
both.
It's like hiding a small object, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's manual dexterity.
That's a 12 plus 4, 16.
16. Okay.
Plus 2, right?
Oh, plus 2.
For the conditional.
Okay. So you look, and it's from Steel.
Okay.
Steel's message says.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean,
Yes.
We need guidance
bit.
from Dad. He's part of the police. Yeah,
I'm so
Dad,
nervous
step in.
talking.
so he is going to say some, basically just like, you need to stop talking. You need to stop giving information out.
Yeah, but how do you stop talking during an interrogation?
I plead the fifth.
That's all that. That's all that he says in that short message. But you clean up and you're done.
I mean, that's everything I really know. I mean, I want to help as much as I can.
It's a shame because we could really use talents like yours, but there isn't really a way that we can. We're going to have to detain you guys probably. And in Prime Station, we could detain you for up to 6 months. I don't want to have to do that.
And I don't want you to have to do that either.
So are you sure that there isn't maybe one person in your group that maybe is the person that I don't think everybody's bad, you know? Maybe there's just one person who's really pulling the strings. Maybe somebody who is maybe threatening you.
No, we all get along pretty great.
What am I threatening you with? Olive's gonna start fighting Dan across the table. I have never threatened you once.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds
getting coming right now, Joe.
I'm gonna start interrogating you about what I
This
threatened
is all
you
on the
with.
Suddenly
record.
Spice is like, whoa, right in the side of the car.
What did you say? Excuse me?
You better not be in there talking.
Yeah, you better not be talking shit!
Just a trail of bodies.
Excuse me!
It's like,
The baby fist.
but Bubbles, he looks at you and he says, so you're sure there's not one person?
No.
All right. If that's your story, we'll be in touch, but don't leave the station.
Okay, we won't.
He kind of like taps on the glass and it down, and he just goes, he's all yours, Steele. And just opens the door and leaves you and Steele alone in this car. Shuts the door. Steele immediately turns around. What the fuck?
You know, you could ask me.
You just say nothing. That's all you do. You just say, I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, all those old Earth movies, when you show me like all these things, they never like just say that.
That's because that would be boring as fuck in a movie. But this isn't a movie, Bubbles.
Well, I'm sorry, most
There are real effects that happen for things like this. You guys are going to be under a microscope now, and there's not a lot that I can do about it. That's... You just kind of...
I'm sorry. I'm doing okay, by the way.
I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad to see you, okay?
I mean, I wanted to get that out, you know.
I'm glad to see you, but this is not how I hoped to see you.
I know.
I was hoping we'd be able to do something fun. I was hoping we'd be able to hang out, but...
Oh, we'll still hang out. Are you kidding me, Steele? I mean, come on. I brought my whole friends.
Bubbles, I'm a member of the PLEA, and you are under investigation.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that I can do to help you is going to be absolutely out of the question if I'm seen talking with you and your friends all the time. We cannot be in contact until we figure something out.
Oh, yeah, I guess we don't have to, you know, hang out. That's fine.
Hey, I wanted to, okay? This is an outcome from your actions. I'm not disappointed because you are a bad person. I'm disappointed because you did something that means that we can't spend time together now. So just, you guys need to do something. I mean, you guys, you're bounty hunters now. I saw TJ's. It was kind of a weird interview, but you guys are ranked pretty respectably now.
Would we do something to, like, make them, like, you know, like, oh, wow, we're, like, the coolest,
I was gonna say, that picture, wherever you guys got that, that's a big deal. Those are some pretty big movers and shakers for the Huskheads, and there's been some real trouble going on with them. So if you can do something about that, that would go a long way. There's some kind of a thing that they're whispering about down there.
What kind of thing?
They call it the Hulk. There used to be a cartoon like that back on Earth.
Huh. The Hulk. I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah. No, they say it's like a big monster and he eats people, you know? But
Well, we went down there and let me tell you, it's changed.
you can't go to the Husk. You went to the Husk?
Yeah.
It's dangerous now.
Well, I thought maybe we could run into your old friend Dem Winnicott, but you know, the whole place was so confusing. I didn't think I could even, you know, find my way to even get to him.
Dem is supposed to be working undercover in the Husk, but we haven't heard from him in almost 2 weeks. He was staying in this soup kitchen or something like that because there are people in the Husk that come in and out of there, but that whole place went quiet. Yeah.
Maybe, you know, if we, you know, get in there and try to find this Hulk, we could try to find Dem as well.
Well, you got to do something because you can't leave here right now.
Does that mean I can't go on a date?
Look, I don't know what the date is, but you really need to focus on the important things here.
Okay, no, you're right.
You are under investigation for something. I'm still not really clear on what. It sounds like you damaged a train, but they seem to be really interested in you. And with 18 people there, that's not for nothing. So you guys are going to be under scrutiny. You need to do something.
We'll put this right, Steel, and you know what? Like, we'll like go to like your like after we do all this, we'll like go to your favorite like.
Did you guys steal anything?
No, we didn't steal anything.
Of all the people.
Make a bluff check.
Why
would you
This
lie?
might
Take
be
a-
the only
take
one.
a-
Is,
take
is
a-
there anyone? Is there anyone around us?
I mean, there are people walking by on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
but like nobody in the car. You're in a car right now.
Windows are up.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
an interrogation vehicle.
Bub is going to just say no, we didn't take anything. And then he's just gonna just like tap his communicator and just send like a blank message to Steel of just like a space.
Okay. He takes the communicator. He looks at it and goes, "Did you butt dial me?"
Oh, sorry. No. I think I did. Maybe I don't know. These dang things.
It's on your wrist.
But no, we didn't take anything.
All right. Well, if you didn't take anything, then you should be okay. I'll try to see what it is that they're investigating for. I heard something about a Starfinder, but they said there was 2 or 3 other things as well. Bubbles, you guys need to keep a low profile. You need to not get into trouble.
I know.
Every time someone says that, we get into
I wanna
That's the whole point.
I wanna make you proud.
You don't need to do anything to make me proud, Bubbles. But you do need to do something to make this right. You got to get out of here. And let me know when you think of something that we can do. But try not to communicate with me until then.
Okay, if we need help with the Hollow Husk, could we maybe, I don't know, somehow contact you? Is there a way we could do it, without them people, going through our comms or, it being like...
You can send me a message. I mean, just try not to do it too much.
Oh, okay.
So just if you're going to go to the Husk, yeah, please let me know. That's a dangerous place, and I'd like to at least give you some help if you're
Okay.
going to go in there.
All right. Can I have a hug?
The partition all the way down. He goes, yeah, I guess. And he like turns around. He like turns halfway and then and has to unclick the
It's like two
seatbelt
gigantic
and like
men
turn
trying
all
to
the way
like
through
hug each other.
and like has to stick his hand
Yeah.
in, kind of like this, and then like emerge into the back, and then gives you like a hug.
It's like,
You
"Oh, my
hear-
back hurts."
Yeah, you hear his back like pop, 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 and like just.
You need to sit down.
All right, there we go.
I
All
should
right.
have had you go through the window.
He like slumps back in the seat. I'm happy to see you.
And maybe like I was gonna say, like, before you like kind of got all yelly, that like we'll like solve this issue, Steel, and like we're gonna go to like your favorite like noodle place, and then it's not like real noodles, it's like the best like fake noodles on Prime Station. I mean, I don't know if it's the best. You always say it's the best because can't really taste, but like
They're the
we'll go there-
best.
Okay.
I wouldn't tell you they're the best.
Okay,
they're
I
the best.
believe you. But like, we'll go there and like we'll have like a laugh about it, and then we'll hang out with my friends, and it'll be a really fun time.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. I'll be seeing you.
I hope so. I hope it's soon. Please, just stay out of trouble. You're a good kid, but I don't know about these people that you're with. And the door unlocks.
Bubs does like the walk of shame, like after you get in trouble, back to his room.
Punches a drywall.
So you walk back down the concourse towards the ship?
Is everyone on the ship at this point now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So as this conversation is happening, the rest of you all go and board the ship. Give me 1 second, change the music. As you board, you can see out the viewport the various members of the PLEA departing. They take this like bomb sniffing dog away. They're all heading out, and so eventually it's just the rest of you in the ship.
Squeak okay?
Spice, like,
Squeak is still very much alive. Happy to see you. Is currently leashed up to the garden and has pooped in and around the garden along with Gibbs in that space over the smuggling bay.
That's a Bub's problem.
I know. I know.
Bubs is our poopsmith.
Poop Officer Bubs.
Swaps the poop deck.
So the three of you plus Gibbs, who is currently like just reorganizing supplies in the med bay with all their fresh garbage. The Hollow Husk having quite a bit of it. What are all of you doing?
No one else is on the ship now?
Just
us.
Yeah,
Crew.
just
You see
Mosaic Team
Spice.
5.
Just crew.
After
Shutting
running after the police
the
car.
bay door.
Okay,
Sorry.
so Spice runs.
Wait,
Like Forrest Gump.
Just
Like,
slides
Hey, you
out,
better not be talking about me!
slides out the ramp as you like have it half up, and then you have to stop it, and the director goes, "Would you like me to continue?"
yes. No.
Lowers back down.
Spice, come back.
Overcomes.
She like watches the police car drive away, and she's like, "Fuck." Alright. She turns around.
Now I shut it.
There you go. You have now successfully trapped Echo, Spice, and Gibbs on the director.
Almost
Trapped
100%
feels like the
completion.
correct word.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, she's okay.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Director,
Yes, Echo.
we no longer need to depart quickly.
Powering down drives now. The hum kind of stops.
Director, maintain active surveillance around the ship.
Doing so now. There are no sentient beings in the vicinity.
Oh.
Outside of the crew roster.
How many are inside?
There are 4 sentient beings within the confines of the ship.
It doesn't count
No,
Squeak
Squeak.
as sentient?
No, Squeak.
Yeah,
Squeak
that's
counts.
4.
That's 4.
It doesn't
Gibbs.
count
Oh, no.
Gibbs is
as
kind of
sentient?
Gibbs is just like in and around the ship, but at this moment not aboard.
Gibbs is also the med bay, which is like very specifically turned off from the director's
Yeah,
med bay.
so like very much the sensors were disabled in the med bay on a hardware level.
So
True.
the director doesn't even know.
It doesn't
that
even like it is a
She
blank
killed Tony
space
either.
and
You don't really know what is known
killed
about
Tony
what's
on
going on in
Tony
there.
Express.
That happened
I
in
don't-
Tony
You don't know if
Express.
the director knows because she told me.
You don't know.
Oh.
You don't necessarily know about what the director knows about Red because that happened in there.
yeah.
But
So, I mean,
anyways.
the conversation between me and
Oh yeah,
During the
right.
dance.
Yeah, and that's actually why that was disabled, was so that people could talk in there from Gibbs. But no worries.
So are we all gathered here at this point?
Spice walks back in, sees Echo, immediately avoids eye contact, and like awkwardly tries to like close the door behind her, but keeps missing the latch or whatever the button until she finally gets it, and then it closes behind her.
Look.
Hi. Echo. I'm sorry.
Spice,
Shade, stay out of
now
this.
is not the time.
Yes, it is the time. I have one
Echo does
single
not want
moment
this.
with Echo.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Right
This
now,
is your
Bubs
crew!
is having a
This is not
conversation.
about you!
It is not about me. It is never about me. It is about the crew.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to hash
Your-
out right now.
Mistakes with relationships with Echo are a lower priority than the current situation that we all find ourselves in with the USR.
If Bubbles were to talk to the investigators, which I assume he will, we will be in great danger. I also am well aware of the detainment times that are allowed on Prime Station. They are significant. If we are under suspicion of a crime, we could be detained for upwards of 2 years.
I'm not worried about that. We'll talk our way out of
You
it.
should be. It is a very distinct
That's
possibility
so
given the
brave of you,
situation that we find
Jesus.
ourselves in. You need to take this more seriously.
Have you sat in a cell alone with no one talking to you as you wait unknown of your fate for 2 years?
I have. She points at her antennas. I can read minds. I can see whoever's outside the cell. And no, I haven't, for the record. Not yet.
Imagine what it is like to sit in a box in the dark
It sounds terrible.
for 2 years.
What do you want me to say?
We need to focus on our priorities.
Oh my god, alright, what are our priorities?
Our priorities are making sure that we get our stories correct.
Okay, what then?
Bubs has probably already explained in excruciating detail the events that happened on the Tony Express, as well as what has probably happened in the last 13 hours.
This is like right about the time where if it was like split screen, Bubs is going, and then there was Seven Woyoko, and then there was, and just like going through each individual car.
So what? He tells the truth. Is that a bad thing?
We are implicated in multiple crimes.
But we're also bounty hunters. We kill people for a living.
Being bounty hunters is not a carte blanche to do whatever we want.
I don't know. I trust that we can talk our way out of it, can't we, Shade, with the +2 diplomacy? What did you say to those officers out there that really convinced them to leave? It wasn't you, was it?
Is this constructive?
Echo, I'll talk to you later.
Is this constructive?
Yes.
It is not.
According to you.
Do you really look at yourself in the mirror and think that you have the capabilities of being the captain of this crew?
Shade, you've had this conversation with me 100 times.
And you haven't given me a straight answer.
And I will never, because this is who I am, Shade. You have to take me for who I am.
Then that gives me an answer.
So no is the answer. I will never be the captain that you want me to be, because
It is
I am not
what
that
I want
captain.
you to be.
Then
It is what you
you
need
are
to be
laying
if you're
out a
going to.
frame that I will never fit. You are laying out a frame for you to fit. That is not me. I kind of hope that was a low roll, whatever it was for.
What I want is for the safety and success of this crew.
And you don't think that's what I also want? You don't
I
think
do, but your actions make me doubt that.
my actions are what I think is best for the crew, which is different than what you
Giving away
think is best for the crew.
highly personal info about crewmates
Oh my gosh. You
Stealing
realize that
from
I
a
did
crime
that
scene.
because I thought giving away the information would help us. TJ is a huge resource. We could get
You
so
gave
much
that
help from
information
them.
away for nothing, and it was not your information to give.
I realize that now, Shade. Thank you. And I'm annoyed that I'm talking to you about this and not Echo.
The
You
reason
do
you're
not
talking
represent
to me
Echo.
about this is because we were trying to focus on the current task, and you deflected into this petty conflict.
Oh my god, Shade. You are the one who literally brought up me being the captain. Yes. Spice steps back from Shade's face.
The android cough is so good.
I know you don't need to cough, but thank you.
Neither of you are being particularly helpful in this situation. Bickering about who should be captain, or why you should be captain, or why captaincy is not important in the moment, and I think, Shade, that you realize this.
I do.
And Spice, I think you also realize this.
Amen.
So let us focus.
I agree.
We can hash this out later, perhaps in the drift, when we take one of our long, extended travels through the drift.
Spice doesn't say anything, she just glares.
We need to focus on getting Bubs back to the ship so that we can find out what he told them. We need to plan for a potential flight and becoming on the wrong side of the USR's radars.
I do not think running from the situation in this case.
I
I
agree
agree.
with Echo. So why did you bring up flight if you don't agree? What?
We
You're
need to
contradicting
have-
yourself, Captain.
We need to have multiple plans for any eventualities. The fact that we are already in this situation means that the possibility of flight is high.
Might I provide some alternatives?
Yes.
The USR has tasked us with not necessarily a bounty, but a job. And it did seem as though the PLEA were particularly interested in us acting upon this job. I am quite aware of the usefulness of trading favors and information,
Ah.
the correct information to the correct people.
I'm listening.
Not everyone is a friend. I have learned this lesson, and maybe you should as well.
Spice feels the weight of Echo's blue gaze probably harder than ever. And she just nods.
We should go after the Hollow Husk.
They will eventually release Bubs, and we will be watched.
So we have to be the heroes of the town.
And we have to do it professionally.
Okay.
We will need to remain focused. That means no sightseeing. That means no ice cream. That means no dates.
I strongly disagree because hear me out.
The
So
director
still-
suddenly pipes up and says, "There is one sentient life form approaching." And if you turn and look out, you can see that PLE guard who you had seen previously. I believe his name was Terry. Who is kind of like, seems to be rehearsing something and is like kind of just like tapping his fingers together and approaching the director.
I
One moment.
am great
I'm
at
gonna
talking
go-
to people, so I think if I
Open
am
Okay.
able to integrate myself with the local community.
The ramp is lowered. At this point, Bubbles, you're like kind of caught between them, so you're like walking back, and suddenly, there is this PLA guard who's like right in front of you coming in. I don't think you talked to him too much, but he went with Gibbs and Spice, and you can kind of hear him muttering, "I didn't misplace it, really. Excuse me," and he kind of wait, and then the ramp goes down, and you can see he's like right there.
Good evening.
Hello. You didn't, it wasn't lost per se, but you didn't happen to find a firearm here, did you?
Could you specify the type, the make and model?
Yes, it was a PLEA heavy laser weapon. It would fit into a holster like this. And he gestures to the empty holster at his side.
Is it a heavy weapon?
It's a light arms, and actually, Bubbles, you having been there, you saw when he had to dive into the ship to like follow Spice and Gibbs, he had dropped his weapon, and the other officer had picked it up, somewhat exasperated. But he just says, we really need to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, and somebody just misplaced it. So if you've seen it, it would be really appreciated.
We will keep an eye out for it and inform you if we find it.
Okay. I've got really important things to do tonight, and
Perhaps I should take your personal contact information so that if we do find it, we can contact you.
that would be great. My communicator's going to be on silent though, because I'm going to be on a date. But if you could just, if you could just let me know, I'll try to be here right away. It's really important that we get it back.
And your name is Officer...
My name's Terry, and he taps the communicator, and you have Terry's contact information.
As this is happening,
Yeah.
Bubs is probably gonna walk in.
Oh, Bubs is back?
No, he's gonna just.
I thought you were taken away to the police station.
They
was just
like
in the cop
drove
car.
down and just like talk in the
Yeah.
car. It was like a drive and talk situation.
They let me out.
They circled the block.
I thought
Yeah.
they took you away to go to jail.
No, they
No.
can't.
Oh.
Our love is too strong.
Yeah, of course it is.
They were heading to jail and they were
then
like,
they're like,
wait,
"I can
is
feel
that love that I sense?
Yeah, the red string
Oh,
of
you know what?
dragon.
I can't break up true love. Let's-
No, to
You
love
may
it.
be a thief, and you may have put a lot of people in peril, but you know what? I believe in love.
I feel.
Believe in anything God loves.
You would wait for Bubs, right?
Of course.
Oh god. Okay,
So
so
you-
That's why she ran after the cop car.
Yeah, that's why she ran after
Officer
the car.
Terry,
Yes,
if we
that is why she
locate
ran
your
after
weapon,
the cop car. Don't think
we
too
will
deep about it.
contact you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And he just kind of like taps his hands together again and then walks off.
Is Bubs like walking up as he walks
Yeah,
away?
Hey, let's talk in the ship.
Yes, get on. Walk
Get
up.
on.
Gib, where have you been?
You know me, playing it cool as always, with
That
the
better not
boys.
have been your dad in the car, and you didn't introduce me. She
Oh,
clicks
well,
her nails.
babe, you know I'm gonna introduce you.
Bubs,
I mean,
It's
you
just a
need to
matter of
tell us-
time, right?
So, hold on, babe. There is something important we have to
exactly
talk to.
what you
about.
told the
Okay.
USR,
So,
the
Basi-
PLEA. Fuck.
the first thing
All these fucking acronyms.
they asked me was about one of the drift cars on the Tony Express being jettisoned out into space. I didn't even know that happened. Did you guys know that happened?
Of course we did.
Didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, Bubs would know.
That was Did you tell me? You did. Yeah.
As far as I
don't
know,
think anyone.
nobody knows
Okay.
that
That's what
Echo
I-
detached the
That's
car.
what I thought. Yeah.
I told no one.
Yeah, I remember specifically not knowing.
Wouldn't
The only
we have
person who
seen it,
may
though?
have been able to vaguely put it together would have been maybe Tony Jr. if he if the perfect series of questions was asked for it to jog his memory in the right way, maybe. But the stealth check I believe was a 27, and so
Echo was.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And then they were they were very suspicious because I apparently I didn't know this either, but Gibbs did some kind of interview with a reporter on Alcaraz Station, and they were questioning how come we were on the Tony Express, but at the same time an interview aired 2 days after, and it seemed like we were on Alcaraz Station. Did you guys know Gibbs gave an interview?
Regrettably.
I'm out of the loop on all this stuff. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to pay attention to things more. But they gave basic series of questions. I think I did pretty well.
What did you say?
Well, they were suspicious, cause the camera logs and the computer systems went down, and I said I don't know anything about computer systems or camera logs, but I know there was an EMP attack, so that makes sense. I said, and then they were all talking about were we all together and I could account for everyone, and I said yeah, before the attack, but after we got off from the casino, and I said well yeah of course. But not when we went to the bathroom, because I'm not gonna go to a bathroom. I'm Bubs, and I don't want to see other people in the bathroom when they're doing their, and they were suspicious of me, and they were saying they can hold us for 60 days if something happened.
If what happened?
If they found more reasons to suspect us.
Did they happen to mention what those reasons are?
Did they? I don't think they
Yes!
did. No, I don't think.
Oh my god,
Besides,
yes they did.
Besides the things they're given about.
There were items that were stolen aside
Oh
from.
yeah. I mean, I
this
think that's
missing
already known.
log.
That's the big one, though,
Yeah.
is that they're really looking for and trying to track down this valuable starship
Yeah.
and then some other things.
I mean, I think that's. I thought you meant proof, not the obvious thing that was stolen. Yeah. You mean, I don't think they have any concrete proof that we were, doing anything, but in terms of what they're after for information, they just want to know what happened to the Jacinto starship, and they said other items were stolen, which I assume probably was, Spice's, golden arm that I helped her steal. I mean, I didn't mention that.
Well, given the current situation, I would imagine that those are the items that they are most concerned about, because we explained the situation with the missing starship.
Echo pings Shade with the
Whispercom.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth Android connection.
Harbinger is looking for the androids.
Yes.
But, like, I mean, it seemed like they were just fishing for information, and they didn't really have anything, like, concrete. But they did kind of seem like they were hinting that someone on our ship seemed like, more suspicious than others. I think they meant you, Echo.
That is very insightful of you, Bubs.
But I didn't like give anything away. I mean, I think I did pretty good.
What did Steele tell you?
Steele said we have to make this right. We're probably gonna have to go chase this hollow husk bounty.
It is not a bounty. We will not be getting paid for this.
We have to assist the PLEA so that they will overlook any indiscretions on the Tony Express.
And basically, he said we're not allowed to leave. And basically, we're gonna be under watch, and we have to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's anytime we do anything, and keep our hands clean. But I mean, I always keep my hands clean because I'm Bubs. But
At about this point, the first message comes in from the PLEA, and it is the first of about 140 pages of paperwork for all of you to fill out for your 7-day detention. And Echo, you very quickly get the sense that this is paperwork that is retaliatory in nature.
This is vengeance.
Yeah. There are places where you have to reference, first it tells you like inventory of ship, and you're ready to list like the cargo, and you can see a place to list nuts and bolts, and it has it per area on the ship, and then it has like landing gear specifications, like things that are almost certainly like added on, but it's a spiteful amount of paperwork.
Director, we will require your assistance.
Very well. The lights dim a little bit.
The power gets siphoned off.
Yeah. You use your ship's like military grade computer to complete some paperwork.
we can have a nice little moment where Echo maybe does some paperwork, and we can maybe start making plans about how we're going to approach this. Maybe it's not a bounty, but
We are going to approach this extremely cautiously. We are not going to act out, go on dates, any of that.
Shade, think of
What?
what is our success rate, Android? Just run that up for me really quick.
babe, never mind.
Do you really think this is a productive use of your time?
Yes, I do. Run me up the stats of our success rate under your command, Captain. I'd say it's not as good as you think it is. So I think by
I know
saying
that it is
stay
low.
focused
That is why we
is
need
not
to.
working.
Because we haven't been.
That is why I need to take a firmer approach.
You think it's working? Look around
No,
you, Shade.
it's not
It's not
working.
working.
It's
If
not
you would like
working.
to approach this from a mathematical standpoint, Shade's rate of success is approximately 43%, which is 43% higher than your rate of success. Spice.
Director, I didn't ask you. Thank you for your input, though.
But the director is correct.
Was captain for the second mission?
Would you consider the first or second mission super successful? Where
That would
your
consider
take 'em alive
me.
bounty was
Yeah.
This is
assassinated?
great conversation. These are great conversations.
The director is correct. But again, the bickering will not help either of us and can be done after we have dealt with the hollow husk.
Agreed.
We can go on dates after the hollow husk. Think about how sweet
Deal.
it will be.
All right, after the hollow husk, we'll go on our date.
Yeah, babe.
Done.
Of course, we're gonna go on like the best date, and like Steele said I could borrow his car, and like all these other
I
things.
can't wait to drive in the back of that.
In the
dumpy-ass
meantime,
police
we
car.
need to focus on the
Yeah,
tasks
focus.
at hand.
I'm here.
All
What?
of you should focus on the hollow husk.
Um,
Bubbles, you have not made clear all of the communications you have received relating to Prime Station. I believe Steele has sent you images that would be of interest.
Yeah, here's, and I'm gonna forward on my comms to the group chat, the images and information, and also, I mentioned this when we were in the husk, but I knew someone named Yem Demico. Was it Yem Demico?
Give me 1 second.
Hold on, I have
The
it
pictures that you get, by the way.
It's Dem. I got it.
Dem Dimico?
Dem
the
Winnico.
Dimsdale Dimico?
Dem
Yes.
Winnico, I think
Dem
is the name.
Winnico. His name
Demp
is
Winuto.
Dem Winnico.
Demp.
Oh, damn.
D-E-M-P
I thought it was D-E-M.
Winuto. Winutoe. I'm glad I checked that.
I have that's totally wrong.
Yeah. But as this is happening, he sends you pictures, and these pictures are of Emma, who you have all been very closely acquainted with before. They seem to be walking on streets terribly familiar in that they are in the Hollow Husk.
Oh, is this what Steele gave me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but this is before, not now. Recently, yeah. I told Shade about that. Yeah, Director, I told Shade about this.
This would have been useful information for the whole crew.
I know. I only told Shade because I don't know.
Is that your sister?
Well, you guys were there at Horace Bay, and after Horace Bay happened, and I kind of felt that maybe I should just put the whole, thing behind me. I don't need to think about Dr. Maldross anymore. I don't need to think that I'm a failure anymore because I don't care what he thinks, and I don't want to deal with this any part of my life anymore.
But what you do need to think about is the fact that Emma has put all of our lives in danger before and has actively sought to kill us.
That is true.
Weren't you also the one to tell me that I need to build a relationship with my family?
Babe, that's not the time.
Bubs,
It's different.
you can't run from your past.
Why
Whether or
not?
not you want to, Emma is gonna come back for you.
Guys,
And Maldross.
I don't want to talk about this, guys.
You need to confront it.
Hey, we're here with you. You're not alone in this one.
Guys, can we just please focus on the Hollow Husk? We can talk about this later.
Emma is a factor in the Hollow Husk.
If Emma was a factor, she would be long gone by now. She doesn't stay in one place for too long. She has to report back to Maldross.
Regardless, her presence here means that she is involved, and likely Maldross, with what's happening in the Hollow Husk right now.
Well, like I told you, Jade, Emma, when we got the information about what 899's bounty was, or theft target was on the Tony Express, it was also taken by Emma, that information, what the target was, and it was taken off a server in the Hollow Husk. So, yeah, I can understand it is relevant, and I not without trying, Echo, I did tell Shade. It's just, like I said, I'm trying to put this
That
behind
would
me.
have been useful information
Indeed,
for
it
the
would
whole
have
crew.
bubbles.
Guys,
There has been a lot happening. I
like I,
intended to
Why
send
did
that
you only tell
information.
him?
like I said, I'm done with the Maldross stuff. I don't want to think
It's a
about
bounty and your family.
It's babe. When after Horace Bay, I closed the blinds on that. You saw me. I don't want to look off into space thinking about where Miles is or any of that stuff. I just want to be with you. I just want to focus on what's going on in front of me.
It seems as though we have an interesting meeting of paths. Emma has appeared in the Hollow Husk. 899 has stolen something from the Hollow Husk and from Prime Station. And now the Carbon Cartel has a presence.
Me and Shade think that possibly that since Emma is working for the GPF and stole information from the Hollow Husk that was Echo 899's target, that means that possibly 899 is maybe working for the GPF, or at least
899 is not working for the GPF.
Well, I meant to say not working, but at least trading favors.
It is in fact the opposite. In our smuggling compartment, there are 2 Echo units.
They belong to Harbinger.
They do not belong to Harbinger.
They were in possession.
Who do they belong to then?
Does your corpse belong to a company?
No, it doesn't. They're free corpses now because you saved them, Echo. You're the hero. You did it.
That was perfect timing.
So, who is it then, Echo?
Harbinger Robotics is likely involved with the GPF.
They were present on Akaton. And they were greatly involved in supplying weaponry to the local station there.
And I remember...
Harbinger Robotics has also been sharing technology with Jacinto, it seems. As Jacinto's ship was recently stolen, and it was present on the same transport.
Well, of course Harbinger gives all this information to Jacinto and the GPF. I mean, when we did that mission...
Jacinto and Harbinger Robotics are direct competitors. They have no reason to share information, and in fact, would pay dearly for the other's secrets. I know this.
In addition, the recent attack by the divers, we did recover one of the sniper bullets, which matches the bullets used for killing Bill Black, who at the time had defected from Jacinto for Project Cuttlefish, which was what was likely the result of the prototype that we found on the Tony Express.
I'm sorry, I meant to say Harbinger for the USR. Jacinto is so huge, sometimes I think Jacinto is the USR. I
believe that is more correct than you know.
I think Shade has a point, though, about what they were saying about the Bill Black assassination. It's just everything seems like a coincidence right now, but it's not. Something's happening, I feel it.
Director.
Yes, Echo.
Are we authorized for any more insight?
I have already told you the important information that you are cleared to know.
I thought I would check. Thank you.
Wait,
You
so
said-
who's the bad guy? What?
The point is,
In
There
this
are-
instance, many.
It can't be us against the world. We have some allies.
there are entities acting with knowledge that we do not have, using us for their designs.
So we're the bad guys?
We are pieces of a puzzle much larger than us, involving both Harbinger, Jacinto, the USR, and the GPF, at
Do
the very
you need
least.
to know who to shoot?
Yes.
Babe, I'll tell you. I'll make sure you know.
I know not to shoot you guys.
What Shade is saying is correct. There are tremendous numbers of financial resources being moved amongst all of these companies in a way that has not been seen since before the Vesk War.
Don't
What is occurring is unclear.
You said there was a server that Emma stole information from. Do you have the location of this server?
Yeah, I do. I think Steele gave me the information, but I don't know. Did he give me the exact location of the server? I don't
No.
think he did. Yeah, I don't think
It's
he
it's in the deep part of the Hollow Husk,
Yeah.
and he is at the moment waiting on word from the police council as to whether or
pursue
not
it
he can pursue that as an active lead with the
Yeah.
police's help, or if he's going to have to kind of go alone.
did. Into the husk.
Yeah.
So maybe
Okay.
we go in...
Well, the situation
Seems
is
like that's what we have to do.
I don't know the exact location, but Steele is awaiting clearance from his superiors to go deep into the husk to find that information from that server. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could when we're in the husk have a quick little stop over there with Steele and maybe find it ourselves, but I don't know.
Director, what is the status of the paperwork completion rate?
It has been completed.
Oh, that is wonderful. You are quite adept.
140 pages of this variety of paperwork takes approximately 1/2 of a second.
Did you put the hand in there or not? The golden hand that I took?
What golden hand?
Good answer, my man. My ship. She gives a thumbs up into the air.
Ding! A single light goes blue.
It sounds as if all roads lead to the husk.
So, what's our plan then? Like I was trying to say earlier, I have this contact, Dem Winneco,
who I met with Steel once, or know of through Steel. I was there one time when Steel talked to him, on the comms. So it's like kind of someone I know, but like it's like a situation where he was undercover and he's trying to investigate, what's going on in the husk. But Steel told me that he hasn't heard from them in a while, and the last he heard of him, he was undercover in a soup kitchen.
That would be. But hold on.
That is good information.
Filling the hollow soup kitchen.
Yeah.
You had heard of that?
We walked past it.
Yeah.
He was a Shiran.
You walked past signs, I think, directing towards it.
He's a Shiran, and he just has like a lot of body modifications. But he seemed like a nice guy.
Perhaps we should start at the soup kitchen.
Indeed. And you said that you have seen the soup kitchen.
I mean,
Yes, it was near where we encountered the divers.
That means it is relatively close to the edge. One thing that occurred to me. We will want to keep detailed records of the paths we take.
Yes.
It is very difficult to orient in the husk. It seems as though there was almost something interfering with my ability to navigate.
Agreed.
There is also large levels of radiation surrounding the husk head's encampment.
We need to prepare for going into the husk for more extended periods of time.
could we procure some radiation supplies from some stores on?
I could probably
Prime?
craft stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It would take some time, but
Yeah,
you
it'd
certainly
take like,
could.
I think it's 4 hours to craft something with my
More importantly,
ability.
some of our armor was damaged in the fight with Warmonger Industries. Also,
Yeah.
it seems Warmonger Industries is a holder of one of the talismans for spice.
What?
You did not catch that.
No, Olive didn't catch that. Is that real?
Yeah.
What did you just say? Sorry.
It was a whole fight.
The
They were going-
They have
Warmonger
a
Industries
talisman? I thought
fight
they just
that
wanted
just
one.
happened was.
So for what it's worth, they had
a talisman.
Warmonger Industry robots.
And Echo just saw like the outfitting and whatnot
And
and
we did
assumed.
not. I don't remember who picked up on this, but we
And
saw
Shade
those
was not
similar
there,
type
so-
of warmonger robots during the GPF prison escape where we tried to free.
Yeah, but
Red-
that doesn't mean they
Red
have a
Clay.
talisman.
I know, but it means
They knew about it and they asked for it.
yeah. My point is that.
But
this-
that means they don't have one if they ask for it.
Well, they could want two, so that
Yeah.
then they get a bigger cut when they kill you.
And my
Remember
point about
when I said that you shouldn't give out information? Some people are not your friends.
You're implying that you're not my friend.
I am implying that I believe people were my friends and I traded information, and it came back to bite me in the proverbial ass.
Bugs makes a mental note about how Echo just said that they believe that Spice was a friend.
Yeah, it sounds like a past tense.
Yeah, better than Bubs. Bubs didn't get friend status.
And
Did
Oh.
Echo's call Spice a friend?
No.
Shade, for what it's worth,
What? Maybe.
most of the things that you're going to look to craft that are like medium-sized or smaller would take between 1 and 2 hours, depending on
Like radiation badges.
depending on the item level. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you want to create larger items, that doubles the time total. So that would be like you're looking at 48 hours for some
If
larger
I
items.
gave him a radiation badge that I have, would that increase the time? Because he could just go out.
I think it would
and
just
do
lower
X.
the UPB cost,
Yeah,
right?
that's all it
Okay,
really did.
so I can give him one of mine to lower the
Peep is also present on the station.
We will need to contact him and let him know everything that's happened.
He could allocate more resources for us. I see you have upgrades.
What?
Oh, yes.
You were all
Has-
given upgrades.
yes.
It wasn't there.
We got the ship. This is the thing I remembered Ari. I was like, Ari, make sure you write down that
Like
you got this
ship
laser.
upgrades?
No, we got our
we're-
gun and our new
I'm an android.
armor.
Oh, yeah.
We-
Echo wasn't there. Echo was like off.
Echo
eating
was
hot
Want
in
my
the hollow
armor?
husk at that
I
point.
already have armor that's better.
Peep has equipment for you as well back at the embassy, and we do need to get there. They will likely have more questions. We spoke with the commander. They already suspect us, as we know.
I think we're gonna do good on this, guys. We're waiting for a win, and this is gonna be our win. We're gonna get him, the Hulk.
Optimism is good. Reality says Never mind.
So what are you all doing?
I guess, are we at a point where we need to long rest? Because I would start crafting all this stuff.
I mean, we have
And
7 days.
as-
That's long rest.
As Shade is crafting stuff, I would like to hand him my
Okay, so it sounds like we're starting downtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to give him my gauntlets so we could upgrade them.
So as we kind of like, as the tension dies down a little bit and you guys kind of split about going about your various downtime activities, why don't we step away for a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll finish up this session. Thank you for sticking with us if you did. We'll be back in just 10 minutes. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for Mosaic Team 5, sticking with us through the break if you did, or joining us during it if you did not. We're going to jump back into some Starfinder.
It's still frozen. I gotta
Jump
restart
into the
this
drift.
thing. Twitch.
So, for all of you, as you now sit aboard your ship and begin going about your various activities during what is going to be a downtime, Shade, we'll start with you. What are you crafting?
So I'm gonna spend the first hour re-upping on that puzzle box, so I can get the +1 to my engineering.
I'm gonna give you my gauntlets so you can upgrade them. Also, can I just say real quick, because you are gonna be fixing armor, we did get a specific 2 equal. What are they called? With an E, the crystals. I have them. The equilibrium crystal, not the equilibrium.
Yeah, to incorporate them into a weapon or
armor. Yeah,
armor.
they give a specific thing, and I wanted to mention that.
Are you talking about the Horcalcium?
Horcalcium?
Yeah, the
yes,
Horcalcium crystals
What do you?
that we
What do you?
have.
You okay? Okay.
So I imagine that I'm going to spend the majority of time crafting the various things that we need to get through the hollow husk, like radiation protection and upgrading everyone's weapons and armor consistent with what they have to like upgrade with.
Mostly just fix it. It's
Yeah, and
damaged.
fixing everything, making sure everyone's got what they need
Okay.
for the next 24 to 48 hours.
So is there anything that you're crafting?
Yes.
Do you want a little bit to look that up?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
Bubbles.
radiation shit.
What are you
I
doing?
probably gave him my radiation badge so he
Okay.
can improve upon that. I have a
Yeah, I
radiation
need to
badge,
math a
1 or
bunch of
2. I
shit.
forget. I can check in a second.
All right. I need a week of
I
shade
think-
accounting.
Bubs is just going to have some downtime. He did fight 2 groups of people today, so he's kind of tired and dirty. He's gonna like shower and clean himself and like check in with Spice, and also just clean up, like because he notices there's like shit. So he has to like first off clean off the shit.
It is a Bub's problem. Yep.
Yeah, that's priority 1. So priority 1, clean the shit, clean himself, and then check in with Spice.
Okay. So priorities, shit,
Oh.
personal care, Spice.
Also, before he even does the shit, he would just like to send a group chat to Shade,
Okay.
being like,
That's just one person.
oh yeah, no, the group chat with everyone. Sorry,
Okay,
not with
gotcha.
you. Can I?
That's
I
not
just
a
wasn't
group
sure if
chat.
there was if that was on purpose or not.
I guess 2 is technically a group chat.
Yeah. Lieutenant Dorian, Dorian West. Yeah. He gave us. It's Dorian West and Clark. He gave us the information about the U.S. Tango ship.
Give me 1 second.
What the?
Commander Wesley Dorian.
Yes, Dorian. Yes, West Dorian. He gave us the information about the U.S. Tango. This is just out of character. Would I be able to look up if that's taken off yet, or is that in the information packet he gave me, or when is the U.S. Tango taking off from Prime Station?
Give me 1 second here. All right. I would say, I mean, yeah, you can look it up. It's not.
Okay.
It's not in that little packet of information.
But it's like public. It's like a flight control. Whatever.
You would imagine, yeah.
Okay. What do I do? Just Okay, I'll take 24.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. So you're doing that. Okay.
And then I'll get the
Okay. Yeah, we'll get back to that.
priority.
Echo, what are you doing over this time?
Echo wants to search their various like connections for like any wayfinding through the hollow husk. Basically just any method that people use to like travel through there, knowing that sometimes there are specific markings that like help people find ways to get through pathways.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Make a cultures check.
Would I reduce the DC of culture checks to recall knowledge about the criminal underworld by 5?
If you would like to, but
Yes.
that okay.
17 was my roll.
Okay. So, thinking about this from the perspective of crime, you search along some less savory channels, and for what it's worth, you imagine, well, with a 17, you find that there are various kind of graffitis that are used to mark different things. It isn't so much the content or what you look at as the color configuration that really marks what these things stand for. And so you find that certain ones can lead you to hollow husk hideouts. With the 17, you also wouldn't recognize. In the last couple of years, there's a cult known as the Benailed Altar of Zon Kuthan, and they have taken over a progressively larger and larger area. And by following what you can only, with the 17, find referred to as the remnants of the joyful things, you can find the altar itself, which is apparently the kind of central area of worship.
The remnants
Of the joyful things. Capital J, capital T.
Wait, joyful what?
things
Joyful things.
In capital T?
So,
like capital joyful, capital
Capital
T
thing?
things.
yeah, proper noun. You would also find that there is this soup kitchen called Filling the Hollow. And if you follow graffiti that says Filling the Hollow Soup Kitchen, if you look at the letter H, it fills progressively as it gets closer. These do change, and so you do need to look for something that is relatively recent. If you find Filling the Hollow and it looks worn away, that's probably from a previous location. And with the 17, the other thing that you note is that there are what are called relic runners, but you can't really find any information about how they track things. They seem to use a much more sophisticated method. They're very high tech, these individuals.
Would that make like that
They're
like
like the
tracks for
level
the
20
people that Echo met and
Isekai
Gibbs met?
characters. They're like the level 20 isekai characters.
No, these are different from the diary.
Oh. I thought they were like hunting relics in the
No,
game.
those are the people looking for the magic items
Yeah.
with the cool bikes.
Yes, you
I thought
saw
that was
the,
still part of the game.
No.
No. There's, I mean, if you guys really wanted to, the game exists. You guys can
We
go.
are going to
No,
become
we're not.
Divers Suck Me.
There's no meta in this game.
100%.
We can only go into one level.
Game in
I'm-
the game.
I'm ready for it.
I'm also ready.
We'd have to change it to like we were a bounty hunting crew, but then we went into a video
But
game.
we're divers now.
And now we're all
MC divers.
slimes.
That's gonna be our anime name. Yeah.
I love that. That was very good.
Anyhow, yeah. So that's what you would find. You don't really find out any more information about how the relic runners operate, but some information. Whew. Excuse me. Is there anything else that you're doing?
Echo would spend their time doing that, kind of just staying in this like main area here.
Okay, no worries.
In the main area?
Yeah. Spice, what are you doing as Echo stays very much in the main area?
Interesting. Spice was gonna go down to the engineering room where she assumed Echo would be,
Shade's there.
and then sees Shades there and goes, ew, and then turns around and shuts the door behind her.
Would I have noticed?
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah,
interaction.
she-
is the door. Ew.
Could I wait?
You say to the empty room. It echoes back to you.
See where I left. Okay. Well, I guess
She's gonna go find
just
Echo.
go be sad.
No problem. Easy enough. Echo is in the cargo bay.
Alright. Well, first she's gonna go director. Where's Echo?
Echo is in the cargo bay.
Echo's like literally down the hall. I am here.
And Spice goes to Echo. Again, she does the thing where she like awkwardly closes the door behind her, but the latch, she can't really reach the latch, and it's like an awkward moment. Thank you. Hey, we got interrupted earlier.
Were we in the middle of something?
I got interrupted earlier because I was in the middle of something. And Echo, I need to apologize. You can see Spice is exceedingly uncomfortable. She's like sweating, like you see her like pit stains through her blue suit, like it's not cute. I have never really done this before, and she's like wringing her hands. I'm sorry. I swear what I said to TJ was I wasn't trying to hurt you or affect your cause. I really, in the moment, I thought it was going to help, but clearly it didn't, and it's just because I'm dumb, and I'm sorry. And I promise that I won't say anything about the Echo units or Pallades Rock to anybody that's not Mosaic Team 5. Ever. To anyone. Without your permission. Do I get a contested diplomacy? Get into it! This is unfair!
You will have to prove that.
Right, of course. You're right. What I did was wrong, and of course, you'll see with my actions that I won't tell a soul about Pallades Rock or the Echo bodies that are within our ship or anything. I promise. And you have the right. Obviously, I'm not a secretive person, but there are obviously some secrets that I hold. And I'm hoping that this, what I've done, and what I've exposed of you won't tempt you to tell my secrets.
Echo pulls out the talisman that they've been holding on to.
Spice just maintains eye contact and doesn't even look at it.
This would have saved us a lot of trouble only moments earlier, and I still have it.
I'll take that as an I trust you.
I have no longer contacted my friend William the Pleaser, who is no longer my friend.
You know who is your friend? It's me! You don't have to answer it because I will. It's me. I'm your friend. Don't forget it.
I was told that William the Pleaser is not my friend because he uses information against me. You will have to prove that you are my friend.
Spice's facial features drop. But I accept the challenge, Echo. I am your friend. And she like taps her heart and taps Echo's. I am your friend. And I will prove it. I swear it.
Then perhaps you should know. William the Pleaser may hold a talisman.
Spices. What?
I asked for assistance when we were departing from Ars Bay, and the goblins showed. I asked for assistance at the Alkarash crossroads, and the goblins showed. That is not a coincidence. William the Pleaser deals in information. We are no longer in contact. I should hope that you will learn from this and not share my personal, private information
So
with
you-
television personalities.
You see, you know the meme of the lady with all the maths? You see, like, Spice makes that face and she's like, okay, so Echo's trying to tell me something indirectly. She makes that
What does
face
it all
and she
mean?
goes, oh! 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 Damn. I fucked up hard and I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna say anything, but William the Pleaser's a bad guy, and I'm a good guy, and we're on the same team. You think so? Do you agree?
I hope that you can continue to prove this.
I will prove it, and I promise you that. I have no doubt that I'm going to try my hardest, even though I'm dumb as fuck. I'm gonna do my best and know it's in your best interest. Or I'm doing it in your best interest with you in mind. But it's going to be the Spice's way, and it's not going to be the most direct way that androids think, obviously. It's going to be the way Lashunta thinks.
Not all androids think directly. And Echo puts the talisman back on and kind of hides it beneath their armor and just goes back to their research.
Wait, Echo, I want to show you. I can change this anytime. Take that back out really quick. And then Spice is going to, new spell alert, cast Vanishing Trick on it, and it disappears, but you still feel it in your hand. I will unvanish it if you want, or I can leave it this way. I am letting you decide.
Unvanished for now.
Okay, she wipes her hand across it, and you see it.
There is a time I might ask for that trick again.
Spice nods, and she goes, is there anything you wanted to say to me? I know I fucked up, but if you're mad, you can say it. You can tell me everything you hate about me, and I'll hear it, and I'll try to change.
You must prove that you are my friend.
Spice solemnly nods. I will prove it, because you're my friend. I consider you my friend. And I want to be yours.
For what it's worth, about Vanishing Trick, it does only last one round a level. And so, because you're casting it at level 0, I believe, as a Lashunta.
Well, she did it, and then she
Just
just, for that 2
Yeah.
seconds.
But just so Olive knows.
Yeah.
So you're not just trying to be like, I got
It-
nothing. Oh,
it-
shit.
One streak across.
Yeah,
would
that's
see
me
it.
reading the first 2
It goes
seconds
with
of the spell.
Spice just being bad at card tricks. Being like,
Yeah.
I'm the best stuff.
The whole spell is 6 words long.
Coincidentally, you asked for it to be unvanished, and I did!
The object you
Spice,
touch
like, doesn't
becomes
even wave her
invisible.
hand over and she's like, that
Duration
wasn't
one round
supposed to
level.
happen.
But no worries. So yeah, you continue your research after Spice has the nicest part of that to me was just Spice going, "I'm just dumb." It was so like, oh man, that was great. But Spice, you make your apology. Echo, you do your research. Shade, you craft your things. Do you know what you're gonna craft yet?
I know some of the stuff.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
It's like, you know, radiation badges, radiation emitter, or God, there's so many radiation things. All the radiation stuff. All of the like top level comms units. Upgrading all of them so that we can all have quiet channels.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so you
they're
want to
all
do all
whisper
whisper
comms
comms?
Yeah.
Make
It's
an
like
engineering
basically
check.
upgrading
That isn't engineering.
our internal
You can definitely do that.
comm
Make an
system and
engineering
stuff.
check.
What, I have a radiation badge 1.
Like encrypting it and shit.
Yeah.
Adding augmentations.
Augmentations to our
Augmentations
bodies
is
or-
No, to
mechanically,
the-
so.
comms.
No,
Little
yeah,
different.
like
But no worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing,
computer
Providing
computer
a firmware
augmentations. Yeah.
Yes.
now I can do the thing where the camera flash will go off when you get a text, like things
I'm
like
gonna
that.
go ahead and use that
I hate that.
yeah,
I
me
hope
too.
you
skill
turn that off.
reroll.
My sister has that.
So annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible. Okay, cool. It was worse the second time. So dirty 20.
Okay, you get all these
Oh, actually,
communicators.
21 because the +1 from the engineering box.
You get all your communicators, and this is like the IT professional who has just taken in 5 communicators from a bunch of 90-year-olds.
A bunch
And
of
like,
gum stuck in them.
there's dirt and grossness in some of them, some more than others. Like Gibbs's is just absolute. Like the screen is cracked. Some of the buttons aren't even for a communicator. One of them is to like an old USR.
I would
typewriter.
probably save Gibbs's old one,
Mhm.
brick it, like totally just make it like an old fucking regular ass Game Boy non-color, no
Phenomenal.
batteries,
Sure.
weld the back shut so it's just a block.
So you're making it into an iPhone.
And then
Hey.
yes, and then
Hey.
craft
I
a
have
new
one too. I'm not
craft a brand new one for Gibbs to
functional use as a actual.
and to
No worries.
scuff up and dirty up
Yeah.
progressively again.
No
like
worries.
basically being like, hey, your chew toy got kind of roughed up there a bit, so here's a brand new one for
Okay.
you, and I kept the old one for you too, in case you
worries.
just wanted it
No,
for
David.
sentimental
You
reasons.
have
like
to rub
that.
the scent
Yeah.
on the new one for them
Yeah,
to accept.
exactly. Like, here, I didn't want you to like throw this one away, but I got you one that'll work better.
So yeah, it's Game Guy 5 operating system,
Yeah.
but you install it onto this and
Yeah.
it's ready to go. It's
Basically,
it's,
like I take the, I just like cloud drop the entire.
the whole operating. It's been 2 months since it was released, so the whole thing has been cracked and is online now. You can absolutely do it.
So
Yeah, but
so just-
no problem.
yeah.
You can upgrade the communicators, no problem. If you want, you can craft up to 5 of the radiation badges as well.
Cool.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah.
I already have one.
Environ masks too. I think I had already given them, but I'm gonna give new ones because they're one-time use.
Okay.
And they only work for like inhalants.
Okay,
and
you can
stuff.
craft those as well.
Yeah.
I believe only 3 of you have used yours. I don't have track who
I
took
don't-
them, but
Yeah, I mean, I gave them. I think in
Bubbles,
the,
you did use yours for
in the
these
field
stupidest
kits that I
reasons.
had made. I
Oh, was
gave
that the
them.
candle?
It was either for the candle or for like a fart. It was for something dumb, but I remember you use yours first. And it was
Yeah.
like very quick and not for something
Yeah.
because it was
So-
in the same vein as you using like the
I would probably-
resistance spray for like something
I would
that.
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just work on crafting essentially
my-
like
I use my items for a
upgraded
lot.
versions of the field
That's
kits.
what items are
Okay,
for.
yeah, yeah.
With like an emphasis on wayfinding for the fact that our comms and stuff were all is basically
Wonky.
like all the cement walls and shit.
We have a wheel from Ari.
Okay.
Sorry, that's it
Um,
was from editing.
and then radiation protection and general weapons and armor.
With that wheel from Ari, I will remind you that Bubbles had a contact named Steel who said, "Hey, let me know before you go into the Hollow Husk so I can give you stuff."
Oh yeah, I think.
So maybe
Well, Shade's been sitting in there
Yeah.
toiling away. No one
thing
tells
about
Shade
that
anything.
Bubs will probably. I think I did give you Steele's number when we had after the date.
I think
you
I
got
did,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I think I
after.
do have Steele's number, but
I
he's-
think-
he's your contact.
Yeah, I think Bubs will just.
You guys have some stuff to work through.
Yeah.
I think.
I
based
think
on
if we can jump to a Bubs scene. Are you good?
that. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Bubs-
just
Bubs
crafting.
will-
I'm
Bubs will
crafting
do
in the armory
a
for
two
or in the,
text.
engineering bay.
First, I will.
Going to
I'll,
feed Squeak and stuff.
I'll give
Yeah,
you the
good time.
information about Steele, saying he'll want to contact us. I'll send a quick text to Steele, being like, "Hey, what stuff do you have for the Hollow Husk for us?"
he responds that he has a digital map from the last time that he went on patrol. In parentheses, it's about 3 months old,
Yeah.
and so a lot has probably changed, but it does include the last known location of filling the hollow. It has glow grave marked on it. It has something called Zon Kuthan Joy Clinic marked on it. It has something called the Lost Patrol marked on it. Yeah, and that's what you'd see marked on there.
I would forward the map to the group chat and be like,
Hey guys, this is the information I got from Steele.
and I would just send a message back to Steele, being,
Thanks, Dad.
Add that to the maps archive for
No
all
problem.
the comms.
I'm going to just be like, is there anything?
Is there anything else you have for me, Steele, or is that it?
Give me 1 second here. Make a diplomacy check.
it's a 4 plus 6, 10.
That's it.
Okay. So that happens. Then I'm going to the U.S. Tango. That's what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. I just don't want to leave this to ready.
Okay. So the USR Tango, when you search, and you got a 20 on it, I believe?
Yeah.
Just 1 second here. Yes. So the prisoner ship was the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The prisoner ship, you can find out, is due to leave in about 5 days.
Okay.
This is heading out for a prison. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
It is located pretty far distal, but still in the same system.
Okay.
It's out in an asteroid.
Okay. So heading to prison. Asteroid.
Director,
Yes, Bubbles.
could you possibly keep us updated on the U.S. Tangos, like, you know, as it's getting ready to take off, and as when it does take off, and just in general information about it, anything you can query from the infosphere as it happens, and just send it to our group chat. I'd very appreciate it.
For all of you, suddenly in your group chat, so Bubbles, you hear the director says, "Doing that now." And for all of you, you get a communication. Are you guys okay over there?
Yeah, we're trading stuff.
Oh, good.
And I have nothing good, so I offered her some sugar from Jazzy Chip.
I mean, worth a lot of money.
Makes you extra fast, even though you don't need it.
Echo could probably move that.
That actually makes
Echo's
the Echo
gonna
down.
travel through time.
But the communication from the director states that the USR Tango is a prisoner ship due to leave in 5 days to a prison located on the Dark Frontier, which is an asteroid mining colony / prison.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you, Director.
Yes, Bubbles.
There is, you know, one thing. Don't tell Shade though.
I will not promise this.
Okay, well, I want to like take Spice out on like another date, but like she, you know, Shade said no. But like I think if we like do this bounty, this mission, and it goes well, like maybe we could like do something. And like I don't want to take her dancing again because she already knows about the surprise. So I was thinking like, well, I don't want to say, but like, can you like do a query of like all the bars in the Illyrium or like middle class districts?
What is the purpose of this date, Bubbles?
Well, you know, I just want to, you know, it's just Spice and me haven't really been on many dates, and I feel like we only know work each other, you know, and I want to know fun Spice, dating Spice, and I don't know, I feel like maybe if I do something that she likes, and I was hoping that maybe I could find a place that.
Alright, cover your ears for this.
I was hoping to find a place that maybe like, you know, they like throw like a lot of like, you know, like make a big scene at, like when they're like doing their bar drinks, they're like throwing like cocktails in the air and stuff, and she loves that kind of stuff.
Bubbles, I am the ship's computer. I can locate bars for you. I can locate them based on keywords listed in the infosphere.
Okay, well then, can you give me a list of, filter 1 could be bars in the Illyrium district or other medium class, wealthy districts, and filter 2, bars that get a lot of daily tips and have high reviews for excellent wait staff, like show being in quotes.
Okay.
Show being in What?
And
Shut
also
Anita's
filter
gonna have
out
to show us the way.
not safe for work, like nudie places and stuff like that. I'm more looking for people throwing like cocktails and drinks and making a show out of it.
Run the parental controls.
Yeah, I feel like it automatically does that for Bubbles' inquiries. The director
It's
knows.
locked.
I only gave
Yeah.
Bubs the
Yeah.
It's not
7
even
plus
because it already
com.
has used him as a
Kids
child.
profile.
It's just because Bub's search is just like kind of
Bubs com is
end up at
my
there.
first com. It's like the big.
It's the computer that we have floating around
Yeah.
here.
It's on his wrist.
So you get a list that is generated with just 7 places that match your results. They are upscale bars that also serve food, and food that comes from a chef, not a machine, not a synthesizer, from a real person, that have real wait staffs, not robots, that doesn't come out in a conveyor belt.
Are there any that are like medium class that kind of have that like cocktail throwing vibe where they like throw them in the air and stuff
Wouldn't
like
that
that?
be a high class thing? That's like dinner and show.
Yeah, it's like a medium high class.
It's so no, that's definitely medium class.
Yeah.
That's, and I would say lower medium class, to be truthful.
I would-
That to me,
a
honestly,
middle.
that kind of thing is a step above Olive Garden, because it's not good
They
food.
don't even
it's
have
perform-
unlimited
What is the word for
breadsticks.
places
I
like
think-
Olive
I
Garden?
think-
Fast casual?
Yeah.
It's actually something that was in vogue in like the 90s and 80s. It was kind of like higher class, but now it's a little bit lower.
Like fancy McDonald's.
So, of all of the people that I spend a good amount of time around who have graduated from the Culinary Institute of
Yeah,
America,
yeah.
I would argue that it's lower class for sure.
Then can I just change? Can we say I did lower class search for that?
Sure.
Because I was assuming it was high class.
Searching for hibachi restaurants in the Inebriate zone.
So cool.
Especially where they throw stuff in the air. And
Yes, and the onion volcanoes. So cool.
because in Bub's mind,
There was only
spice-
one result.
Okay.
This is the Pink Chef's Grill, and this is a
Hakashita
like a no. Hakashita Hano is a
was
really
actually
nice
nice,
place.
yeah.
And it was a place where things were prepared for you, not like on a hibachi style grill,
Like-
but this was a sushi
Yeah,
chef,
a la
like,
carte.
preparing things for
yeah.
you as an omakase style. Like, yeah, this is very, very
Can I
particular.
look through pictures of it and see if like some of the wait staff are like throwing things in the air, like bottles, and like getting a lot of tips and stuff like that?
So the feature picture, the feature one that you see with all the reviews, is an octopus-like creature with all these different like tentacles. You see
perfect.
flippers, you see tongs, you see a camera. They're like selfieing as they do this, and they're like, it looks like they are flipping onions up, and they're gonna land in like a slightly like larger to smaller orientation. There's a whole bunch of stuff
Bubs
going
is
on here.
thinking,
Perfect.
basically, Spice liked dancing and stuff like that, but she didn't have that glow on her face when we were at RS Bay when she was doing cocktails at that bar at Hakashina Hana. And she likes doing like tricks with cards and throwing stuff. Maybe we could just go there and just like experience it. Maybe they'll even let us like throw something or something.
Okay, I mean that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to do with that, but the director translates your processed request by giving you the Pink Chef's Grill. I think it was.
Maybe he might even challenge the guy. Who knows?
Okay. So no problem. It's like one of those places where there's like 5 or 6 stations, so there's like several people working. It's not like the chef is working out in the front, but no worries. So you're gonna challenge some like high school dude, not high school, some like college dude who is
Kevin's
like
there.
making his way through law school, and you just show up and you're like, I want to fight you, and he's like, dude, I just want to fucking do my homework, but okay, no worries. I love that. So you come out with this list of 1.
Possible date idea. Maybe.
Jesus. So that happened.
Not
What happened to dancing? Don't
All of you can
dance.
mark off a long rest.
I tried.
It's not over yet.
Bubbles,
We
you
haven't
do
made
get
it.
a message
You can dance. You
that
can dance if you
your
wanted.
RSVP was not
Leave
filled,
your friends behind.
and unfortunately, the fee is
Yeah, I
non-refundable.
know.
Make a perception check, Bubbles.
Was this director's laughing at me or something?
No, you look at this like cancel notification. At the bottom, there's like a little slideshow, and it
10
says,
plus.
"Join us for our next great event." And there's pictures from that competition. You see very clearly they didn't win or even place, but in the background of this competition, you see Terry. dancing with somebody. This was the date that they were trying to
I
get
could
to.
have beaten Terry. Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Terry didn't place, but I mean, you definitely could have beaten Terry.
Speaking of Terry, I would ask the director to run a scan if they could locate if he left his gun here, because it would be good to use that as a bargaining chip of some kind.
There is no weapons detected on the deck, and then any of your compatriots would tell you that
They haven't
another
told
officer
me
picked it
shit.
up. Yeah. None detected.
Echo doesn't know, and you didn't ask.
Yeah. Well,
All of you can mark off a long rest.
Oh my god, needed.
priorities.
Dying.
From the 12th of April to the 13th. It is now Saturday, and you would all awake roughly around 8 a.m. Nice, bright and early. On Prime Station, in this part of Prime Station anyways, in the hangars, there is no day or night cycle, and so the same light either way, but you come to on the ship. And what would you all like to do? You have your items crafted for this journey. You have a map for the Hollow Husk.
What items?
Radiation
badge,
badges.
Iron mask, and I was gonna look up for some other stuff because I was gonna make a little field kit again.
Okay.
It's
But-
radiation badge.
I believe you have time for
Mask,
2 more
wizard
items.
bomb.
Yeah, let's get this.
Yeah, the comms upgraded, and I'll send the stats after, but and then radiation badge and environment mask to start, and then there's so many fucking items.
Yeah, there's like a million things.
Yeah.
But 2 more relatively common items that will
Yeah.
not take more than an hour to make
Yeah.
each. Whew. So, for each of you, having marked off your long rest, you now have your equipment, you have your map. Are you making your way to the Hollow Husk?
Spice wraps her arms around Echo and goes, "We're ready." Bestie, we're ready.
Unchanging expression from Echo.
I'm gonna look over at Echo and
Extra still as Echo.
as long as you've worked it out to the best of your ability.
No insight check needed, or sense motive check needed. It seems like it's a little bit more one-sided result, but not to worry.
I'm ready. And Bubs has his doth coat ready, and he's just wearing his bub suit.
Have we contacted Peep?
Oh,
I had wanted to do that, but yeah, I mean, I was crafting the whole time. Could I have contacted
Yeah,
Pete?
no problem.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I mean, I'll contact him now too. But
Typically, when I say, "Is there anything else?" That's the time. But no worries.
yeah, I don't know.
Everyone puts their stuff on. Oh, okay,
Thought-
we got
yeah.
more stuff.
I feel like I was just crafting the whole
Bubby,
time.
do you want to
so-
tell
We're back in the
Steele
past.
and that guy that we're going to the Hollow Husk now,
Oh yeah.
so we can get that shit from him?
Well, he doesn't. He already sent it his digital information. Did you get in your comms?
You see that
I've-
Spice has 9,000 unread
Oh,
messages.
I will just ping it over directly because I just gave all the
9,001 unread
Yeah.
messages.
I'm literally handing out the brand new fucking comms.
Yeah.
and,
Mine's still loading. You know how emails
Yeah, it's still-
do those bricks of unread
it's still just
messages?
loading.
I'm an influencer. You see that I don't read any of
Oh,
these.
of
You're gonna have
course.
to tell me out
Ding,
loud.
ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding. Just
I have to put it on
constant.
silent.
I do not feel comfortable going back to the embassy alone. And it seems as though Peep has an upgrade for me.
Now, did you contact people last night?
I was gonna contact him whenever it made sense.
Yeah,
I'll
you can contact
him right
him
now.
the previous evening. So, what did you ask Pete?
Well, I would have just. I wanted to explain everything.
Yeah, go for it. So, rewinding previous night,
Oh,
you're
okay.
crafting.
All right. Beep.
You have to prove yourself.
You see the Isoki image just appear in front of you, and Peep just going, "Yeah."
Peep. The situation on Prime Station has changed.
What do you mean? I was just asleep for like 2 hours.
I apologize for waking you up, but the urgency of our situation has escalated.
Did you kill somebody again?
That's our job.
Did Shade hasn't killed anyone in a while, actually, I think.
More of like a
Relatively
you
speaking,
as a
yeah.
team.
Yeah, no, I know.
And it
but
feels
I'm
that
also
was
thinking,
really
like,
aimed at Spice and Bubbles.
Right, but no one's killed anyone recently.
As far as you
Besides,
know.
I guess, well...
This is more people
just don't know.
reacting to things that you have done
Right,
previously.
yeah. It takes me a second to go through to be like, no, it wasn't that, but it's probably worse.
How?
We are under suspicion of being more involved in the criminal activity that occurred on the Tony Express.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fine because you guys weren't involved.
There is some involvement.
Well, I mean, you guys helped out. You're heroes for the USR. So, yeah, but I don't really understand how this is a problem.
Regardless.
If anything, you should really use that to your advantage and start with that as a basis. Tell them, that you're a hero and maybe start with the USR and go to the PLEA after that. So that way you're starting from a place of power versus negotiating as just, Mosaic. I could also have Nazma call them and see if he could interact because he's a lawyer.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Given the current situation, we do still have...
Okay, you said situation again, but I thought you had explained the situation.
We are attempting to go after the Hulk of the Husk.
Oh, okay.
We have already run afoul of the PLEA and are likely to be detained.
How did you already run afoul of the PLEA? You've been here for 11 hours.
En route back to the ship, we were attacked by a group of mercenaries.
Okay.
I was not directly involved at the time, so the details are scant. However, that led to the PLEA being called to our ship.
Okay.
I do not know the majority of the outcome, but we are now under suspicion.
Just
Rose
have them...
was taken by one of the officers for questioning.
Excuse me. I'll send over the paperwork, but we can just give them permission to do a full search. I mean, it's not even technically
It
Mosaic.
would be unwise.
Why?
There is currently incriminating evidence to our involvement.
Involvement in what, Shade?
There was property of one of the corporations on the Tony Express, which we made the decision to liberate.
Did you steal that ship from Jacinto?
The ship was
mad
not
about
stolen
that.
by us. It was the ancillary pieces of equipment.
Well, hang on. And you can hear like a little data pad clicking and him swiping through, and he goes, I mean, I'm looking at the report. I don't see any ancillary pieces.
There were echo units being harbored on...
Oh, the recycling. Yeah, what? That's not even... What does that have to do with anything? You stole recycling from Rentropy. Just give it back.
Oh shit. That's what Rentropy is recycling. Is bodies!
Say that whoever it was that took the ship was going to take it, and so you rescued it. Maybe you can even have Spice do it. She could probably spin it and make it like a...
Where
you guys
did
were
you
helping.
get me?
What?
Where did you get me?
You can see Peep looks and just goes, I mean, that's... Why are you asking now?
Up until now, the information that I had, there is nothing prior to my employment within Mosaic.
There's no reason to hide anything from you, so I just haven't asked.
Daddy.
before.
Oh my god, this
Daddy.
is not where I thought the conversation was gonna go! Put the tension egg.
There's something going on where my buttons aren't working.
Oh, sorry, my computer. Oh,
I can't
I'll
breathe.
call you back, Shade. Oh,
Where,
again.
where did you get me?
For some reason,
I think I'm going through a tunnel.
If it doesn't work, you can always like have him message it later.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just not sure why it's not working. Oh, because I'm leaning on the keyboard, maybe? No.
Where did you get me?
Why do I have the worst luck with laptops? Okay. Well, I'll figure that out in a second, but he is going to tell you basically, I just got a whole bunch of different, when we were putting together Mosaic Team 5, I got a whole bunch of different dossiers for different members that we could select as a mission coordinator. And I got close to 100, but there was not a lot of good ones, to be honest. And yours was one of them, so I picked it. I got yours from Orion. I don't really know where he got his, but you could maybe ask him.
Would you send me his contact information?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the company directory, but I can just beam it over to you. You have the contact information for Orion. One second here. To pull up my deep lore here.
This is into the January 2020.
That would be Chief Mission Control Orion Massacorp. Yeah, I mean, they really direct most of the day-to-day operations of Mosaic on a macro scale. They're in charge of Senior Mission Coordinator Maxwell and all the rest of us. And then they report to Director of Operations Robert.
Do you still have the dossiers for all of the current members of Mosaic Team 5?
No, I mean, maybe somewhere.
Could you look for them?
Yes.
Send them over to me.
I'll have to check with Nazma, but yeah, I'm sure I could do that. I can at the very least send you all of yours, or send each of yours to each person. I don't think I can send you. I might be able to send Gibbs all of them.
However, you can get them to us.
Okay,
Would be
yeah.
appreciated.
I can do that. Do you guys want? I mean, I guess it's a little early, but we can do your yearly reviews too. We have to schedule those at some point pretty soon.
Now is probably not the best time.
Okay. Well, we'll follow up on that in a couple months then. Is there anything else that you need?
We need to retrieve the equipment that you got for Echo. I was planning on returning potentially with Echo as well.
Well, I can leave it in your room. I'm supposed to leave in a couple hours to head back. Prime Station's kind of rough. My bones are really brittle.
Quick whisper comm to Echo. Do you need to see Peep? I will. We'll get stuff.
Okay. Anything
Then-
else?
We'll be in contact soon.
Okay. Just I don't really understand what's going on here, but I would recommend just if you're wrapped up in something, just try to untangle yourself. This is getting really complicated, and it's happening all the time. Peep out.
She's like, oh boy, brother, you don't know that.
Yeah. It's fun being able to speak from knowing all of it, and then being able to purposefully dial down what I know. But
yeah.
fast forward, you have all completed your long rests, and you are now making your way or making your plans here.
So guys, are we ready to head out, or do we need any more planning?
I'm gonna hand out all the equipment. We need
Slots in
to-
the badge.
We need to work
Wherever's-
together. Whatever our differences, we need to put aside and focus on the current task. I know that is asking for a lot, but please try to look out for one another. Don't act irrationally. Focus on the task at hand.
Check.
Yes,
Say this
Captain, of
every
course, Captain.
time. Yes.
The Hollow Husk is a dangerous area.
Yeah. Everything we endure is dangerous. Yes.
We'll do better than our best, Captain. We'll make sure we succeed.
Let's go.
How are you all intending to travel? Previously, you had taken a car that was driven by the USR
Some of
kind
us
of
hailed
military
cabs.
folks. Some of you hailed cabs, which you could certainly do.
How far are we now from the hangar to the Hollow Husk?
I mean, a good 30-minute ride. So a good distance.
Want to ride from Steel?
That's fast. I mean, you guys are going fast.
Probably not a good idea.
There is a transit system, I believe you said, correct?
It is the cabs, yeah.
Oh.
And there is, in the Hollow Husk, there's remnants
not
of the
that,
old
yeah.
transit
Not that,
system,
but
yeah.
Maybe just take a cab.
Okay, no problem.
Is there another form of
Heroes
situation?
rolling out in the
Wait,
cab. No, I just
Is
wondered.
there another way to get there?
No, we don't have to make this. We don't have to make this
We
complicated.
could
Let's just-
steal
let's
his
just go.
car. I mean,
You guys
we
all
really
jumped
just
in
want to
cabs.
lean into being.
So I like the thing. If this was like Cowboy Bebop, this is they're just like, all right, ready for the mission. Instead of the takeoff, like the cool thing where they're taking off in their personal ships, each person leaves at once. It's all of you. It goes da-da-da-da-da-da, and then it just cuts to you guys all waiting and being like, oh, my ride's almost here.
It'll be here in 1 minute.
Is this you or is this me? Is this you or is it? Mine's the blue light. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get this one. Are you riding with him or are you riding with me? Oh, I actually can't because I only have 3 stars.
well,
on the
I've
app.
got
Have
the
you put it on
bags.
your account or are you
Yeah.
putting it on
It's
mine?
like, can we split
Put it in
this?
an MT5 account, obviously.
Shade, are we able to expense this?
Oh god.
But yeah.
put it on. Put it under travel.
Without having to deal with the puzzle of who rides with who, you can all get in cabs.
A cab.
Shade, how are we entering into the Hollow Husk?
As divers.
Are you asking this aboard the
do we
director?
have the map?
Yeah, you have the map.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I would plot out a route to get us to where we had seen the signs for the soup kitchen.
Okay, and that is pretty shallow into the actual husk
Yeah,
itself.
so start there and then, do a search for more signs that would lead to it based on what Echo had discovered. Did you share that with us? Yeah.
And so, Echo, you had started kind of on like the southeastern side of the Hollow Husk. They're on the southwestern side. So they started on the same kind of entering edge, but they started a ways down. So this is a little bit unfamiliar to you, but you all make your way over in 2 cabs in the direction of this place. With no real issue, you can make your way out into the highway, and the hangar gives way to these red-lit interiors of the red light mercantile district. You see the various shops whir by before you burst out onto the open highway with the view of like the overhead space. And then you explode into the residential districts where there are just houses and all kinds of things until eventually you reach the Hollow Husk. And the Hollow Husk is, as you left it, still relatively decrepit.
Still
Still
not in great shape.
Still not in the best shape that it's ever been. Give me just 1 second here. You reach a large stretch of old warehouses where alleyways kind of zig and zag and form little rivulets and tributaries into the main avenues of this place. This is really a desolate area that you are looking into. And at one point, a gate had been put up, maybe to keep people in or out. That has long since been broken over, and you can see spray painted over remnants of the broken concrete. Huskheads rule. And this husk beckons you beyond. If you are entering, who is leading this? This is you, Shade?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't-
probably, I would say probably following Echo to where they had been. And
Bubby,
then,
weren't you born here?
Yeah, and then, I'm keeping an eye out, probably close behind Echo, and imagine that Bubs knows the place better, too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So then we're not making really kind of survival-based checks. Go ahead and everybody, all 4 of you, make perception
flying V
checks.
formation, maybe?
You're following the map, and really the map and Echo's recall. And so you already know the route that you're going to take. This is about what you're seeing along the way.
We
That's
gotta
your dice.
get rid of this guy. That's a bad one.
22.
Okay.
I think mine. It's
19.
over on the items list. Mine is
Dance dice is making me do math.
still a dirty 20.
Okay.
33.
33. Okay. Echo, as you look at this map, you take the recording that you had done of all the various paces and your distance by pace, and you overlay it and stretch it out until it perfectly fits over top. And you can see there are places that have shifted, but it shifts in a predictable pattern. It's like something has caused these roads and streets and everything to kind of expand and simplify, like the farther that they go. Almost like material has been dragged away from the exterior, such that there are like buildings missing and things like that. A little bit easier to navigate around the edges, though. As you follow Echo, who seems pretty confident in their ability to navigate, you see a couple of different signs of various people. You can see at different places areas where like meticulously carved away sections of doors and things point to like divers who have all performed the exact same task in the exact same place, almost like a repeat animation. You can see here and there along the walls of this place tire tracks that would point to relic runners who have come by.
Divers completing the same daily quest.
Yeah, literally that, yeah. You Echo, after going for about 20 minutes and navigating through here, and you're getting close to the area that they had all seen all this graffiti in, and you're beginning to see graffiti now, stuff relating to the altar of Zon-Guthan and things relating to the Huskheads. You do note a very peculiar looking thing. At first you think it's just garbage, but the fact that Gibbs kind of walks by it and her garbage sense doesn't just go off immediately pulls your attention to it a little bit more. And as you're walking by, you note it looks like maybe at one point it was like a mesh magazine rack or something like that. It's about chest height, and on it, at this distance it's hard to tell, but it looks like body parts have been inhaled onto little elements of wires that have been pulled away and form almost spikes now coming away. And then you keep walking.
Does this trigger any memories of a certain warehouse?
I mean, yes, in that body parts, but you really more, this speaks to Zon-Guthan and the individuals who exist in this place. And you would actually imagine, you had heard about following remnants of something called joyful things. This seems to be a totem of that variety. And so you know that you are in that kind of territory as well.
Echo would like send a whisper comm to the group. Please keep a watchful eye. The cult of Zon-Guthan is nearby. And like includes an image of the altar with like a little warning.
Look out for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so it pops up in your
This
guys'
aesthetic
communicator.
is bad.
It is a wire mesh rack with what looks like body parts that are kind of impaled upon.
Are they? Is it cake?
It's make a with your perception check. I mean, are you gonna go over and investigate it?
No.
Eat it?
Do you want to? You can. You have
Yeah,
to know.
Spice is gonna go over
It's
and
cake.
investigate it.
Okay, so Spice walks over.
No,
Why?
it's body parts. It's bad.
It's
Spice, make a medicine check
It's not.
You were in the bathroom. You didn't
It's
hear
not
it.
cake.
or a life
It's not
sciences
cake.
check. If
The
you
cake is a lie.
Spice was not here.
It's not cake.
Player was not here.
What is it? Medicine?
Yeah.
No.
Science?
It's not cake.
Either one, whichever one you would like.
I'm sorry.
Alright,
It's
well,
not cake. I didn't
why
want
did you do that?
I was making a.
You need to get you a sweatshirt that has like little window holes when you pull your
18.
sweatshirt up over your eyes.
No, the point is that they don't.
With an 18,
I was
you
just
look at this, you get closer and closer, and it's not body parts.
It is cake.
Oh.
They're elements of what look like a mannequin that have been lopped off. And on the little humps, the little edges that would normally be socketed in, you can see there is writing. And along them, if you read each one, it says, "Follow all the bloody rings and earn yourself a joyful thing."
Guys, we need to follow all the bloody rings.
No,
to
we do
find
not.
A joyful thing. Why joyful? That's great.
And
Capital J.
Echo has
capital T.
already informed the group about the
joyful
cauldron
thing.
of Zon-Kuthan and the bad things.
Joyful
and
things, the spot
They're a cult
where
of
they-
violence.
yeah.
It's and Spice remembers the whole like Hylax versus Zon-Kuthan thing.
So it's mannequin parts and not real body parts?
Correct. And in these actual plastic, there's been little messages carved.
Why is that real body parts? Is what's going through Spice's head?
We should try to avoid confrontation with the cult of Zon-Kuthan, as well as most within the Hollow Husk. Focus our search on Demp Wimatome.
We're in here. We're gonna have combat. I think it's naive to think that we're not gonna run into somebody.
We shouldn't aim for it, though.
All right.
We are looking for the soup kitchen.
Rez, full speed ahead. To
So you
joyful
continue along?
things.
Okay.
As you're walking up, Bubba's just going to just try to look on his comms to see if he can find. But he'll message Steele and ask, "Do you have any pictures of Dem?"
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wait, it said writing to follow joyful things or writing to
Follow all the bloody rings and earn yourself a joyful thing.
Okay, bloody ring.
You get back, sure, and then you get back, and it is a picture of a much younger Steel
Yeah.
in a regular PLEA white uniform. He has his arm around a Shiren. Give me 1 second here. You imagine as Demp Winuto. This is a Shiren, and you can see the plates that they have, heavily etched in a similar way to many Vesk for tattoos use. You can see. It seems like they, and you've seen in every picture, they're wearing the regulation PLEA hat. They never take it off. You can see it appears as if they have some kind of dermal plating. Almost certainly there's other augmentations on as under the white uniform. You can see like lights glowing and things like that. But that's kind of what you would see.
I'm going to send it to the group chat with the added message.
But this is a picture from a while, and I know he's really was big on body modification, so try to look more for like the facial structures and, the more body profile to, spot him than anything.
This is helpful.
Yeah, of course, Captain.
When Echo was separate from the group, did they see anyone fitting that description, or
No. After another 10 minutes goes by, you reach an area that is covered in graffiti. And this is another one of these kind of like graffiti crossroads. It seems to be a place that can point you if you if you head off in the direction that is most centralized around a particular type of graffiti. You head in a path that you imagine will lead you to this place. And lo and behold, with a 33, fresh as can be, almost full, is the H in filling the hollow soup kitchen. You are very close to it, and you see this kind of alleyway that you could head to reach it. You head in that direction? No, we're up.
keeping the map running?
Can I do some perceptions for bloody rings?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Remember, we're here on reconnaissance only. We don't want to cause a scene.
You said perception check?
Yeah.
I love how we just looked at each other. That was great.
That's going to be a 32. 32?
So as you're
I
walking,
swear we don't.
you reach an area where straight ahead you can see like a corner, the elevated elevated road that runs down the center of the place has like a stalled out rusted car on the top, and you are so close you can see like a sign that says filling the hollow, has like a big arrow that points this way, so right around the corner. And Echo, with your original perception check, you hear laser fire.
Oh shit.
You're the only one so far with your perception check, and at the same time as you're like bing, you hear that, Spice, you look off to your left, the opposite direction of this laser fire, and you see carved away, perfect little disc of bone, perfect little disc of preserved flesh, a ring that has been carved out of somebody's upper arm. This is not a mannequin.
Ah.
Okay.
This has been suspended off of an old lamppost. using a bit of twine or string, kind of just hanging down, and it could be mistaken for like something peeling away from it if you weren't already looking for it.
Is it like, is there a symbol on it, or is there like?
You gonna leave the group and go and look?
Yeah.
Okay. Spice zags left right as you hear laser fire. What are you doing, Echo?
Get back.
And it like slinks against the wall and then
Right.
watches Spice
Sneak.
like goes.
Sneak.
Okay, stealth check.
Yeah, I'm
stealth
following Echo's
I
lead
will
here.
also just stealth check.
check. Stealth check. What about you, Spice?
I'll stealth
Oh
check.
my
Okay.
god, what the fuck?
Spice listens to Echo, and the entire
I
party
literally
attempts stealth.
haven't rolled above a 5 tonight.
I got a 2.
Yeah, you were like, get back, and we're all like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
we're like, what do you mean get back? I rolled low
Knock into a
also.
bunch of trash cans.
18 for size.
23.
Okay.
9.
Oh, 9 as well.
Okay.
there you go.
That it could have been worse. You whoomp, 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 all up against the wall, and then Bubbles just sees everybody goes and goes, oh yeah, and goes, and then whoomp. But it's just that quick, very loud, oh yeah. And then you were all relatively quiet, but that is enough to certainly give away your position if anybody were looking for you. Echo. You don't hear the sound of laser fire abate. In fact, it only increases. And so that may have drowned that out. It also may have not. But whatever is happening is right around the corner.
Is it in the direction of the soup kitchen?
Sure is.
Echo like makes the little motions to like very quietly sneak along the edge of the wall,
Okay.
and then like motions the team to stay put, and they're just gonna peek around the corner.
Okay.
Drawing weapons.
Would you like a little visual perspective?
Oh, I'm so excited for this show.
Can somebody pull the
Yes.
shit?
This is gonna be so
I'm so
dope.
excited to
There's
see
so
these
much
stuff.
happening right now.
Do you
Jeez.
need the paper, Joe?
Hold on, we need the.
Oh, where's my other dice? I'm switching gears here. These have been rolling low.
Not 30, I don't think we're
Yeah.
All right, let me pull up my other dice.
I'm so excited. Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is D12.
I'm so excited to see this, Joe. You have no idea.
Hollow Husk, here we go. Yeah, with all the stuff that you put down. Look at it.
Alright, I got this.
It's a little flimsy, and there's 2 pieces of cardboard, so just make sure you have the
Yep.
bottom.
I got the bottom.
Got that part.
Alright, bring it down so we don't
Makes the
hit
dream
the.
work.
Yeah, bring it down so we don't hit the tower with the camera there.
And so those 4 individuals on the roof are actually inside.
Oh my god, look at how extensive this map is.
Full
Holy
interiors for the
shit.
whole thing too.
Oh,
And we'll go in them this time, maybe.
Big thanks to Dan for printing out so much.
I'm so happy with this, Joe.
Yeah,
I want
this
to
looks
cry.
awesome.
I want to cry. Oh, and you painted this?
Oh, everything was painted.
Why?
I actually had enough time this week to paint everything, not counting the figures. There's a lot of, because there was 17 different instances of this combat, but
Oh, and you use this. The mess up.
yeah, everything. There's like
this
there's so
is
much cool
so
stuff.
Good.
But we'll definitely include some more of this stuff on Instagram at AlberonRPG. A lot of really cool stuff. As you look around, you guys are all entering from this side right here.
Okay.
You would see there is a number of highly augmented huskheads who are clustered around the kind of piled crates and the circular building on the right, and they are firing at what you can see to be feeding the hollow soup kitchen, which is that building right in the center,
This one?
the one that the 4 people are on. Those are the 4 individuals
that's the
in the
soup
soup kitchen
kitchen.
at the moment.
This is where they're firing from?
Correct. And they all seem to be firing.
And we're coming from here?
Correct. You are technically coming around the building that is before the circular building.
Like, right here.
Yeah, I can get a building for that too if you guys want one. But
Put this bag.
yeah, there you go. So you guys are coming in from around there.
I'm so happy.
Now, because it is 9:30, this is where we're going to end for
This
this
is where we're
evening.
going to start a
God,
big ass
what a
combat.
Next week, next Thursday, for our Halloween session, where we will all be coming in as costumed characters from Mosaic Team 5.
But not our own characters is the important part.
We have mystery characters. That's going to be very interesting to see. I'm an NPC. Everybody else is going to be a player. But that is going to be next Thursday, and we're going to start in this combat. If you can't wait that long, join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a little bit of D&D. But until then, please stay safe.
I'll be there.
We'll see you next
I'll
week.
be there.
Goodbye.
Bit, see you, space boyfriend.